A little too fast, I miss the days that we chill and relax. Where did the time go? It all passed, now I need to go back. I had no worries but always had plans. The only thing I did was dig at the trash. Now it's much harder to laugh, hard to get up and not work on my craft. I need inspiration, don't need no validation. No more medication, just try some meditating. I don't need you to save me, feel like all of you hate me. Everything's been so hard with all the situations lately. I just need to numb the pain for a minute. I just wanna run away on vacation. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain. Oh, I just wanna numb the pain. I just wanna run away. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain. Well, maybe I'm done, maybe I've lost. Still putting up a fight because I love my mom, I love my family. When I was young, they would all look after me. I don't know why, but I feel like a burden. I spend my life overthinking my purpose. I can't really cry, I'm so used to the hurt. Trauma keeps up at me at the wrong moment. Oh, I just wanna numb the pain for a minute. I just wanna run away on vacation. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain. I just need to numb the pain. I just need to numb the pain.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another stream. Hope you boys are having a wonderful, beautiful day. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back, boys. Welcome back to another wonderful, beautiful live stream. Yo, can we get a big old hashtag Matooks in chat for continuing to support the boys, even though he ain't even playing some WoW? My guy, thank you so much, my dude. Appreciate you, my boy. Yo, boys, we got ourselves more 5v5 1v1 duels on the day. Hopefully the team EU is ready and waiting and hungry for some duels. Man, Rab, can you make a video about Venti after Warlock? You know, if they buff it, I'd be down for it. But I mean, I've made a video talking about how, yo, Venti Warlocks just need a buff, dude. What's going on with that covenant over there? Got my subscription, but use gold instead of money. What's up, Blaine? How you doing, my guy? D Woods, how you doing, my man? Chrysler, DC, Celtic, Cran, the beautiful, Major, Luke, Zuli, how you all doing? Welcome back to another wonderful, beautiful live stream. Boys, let me get the music back up and running and we'll be good to go. Hope all of y'all are having a wonderful evening. More 5V5 1v1s on the way today. I want to see some variety today, dude. You know what I mean? Vente Warlock LMAO. I know, dude. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Love the stats. What's up, Lily? How you doing, fam? Hope y'all having a good one. Yo, I've been hearing a date for 915. I have no idea if that's confirmed or not. Wait, we can't even see it. DC, my man! How you doing, my dude?
What's your problem?
What's my problem? What the hell? What do you mean, what's my problem? My problem is Blizzard hasn't announced 915 release date just yet. That's my biggest problem, boys. We're hopping over on that EU. Can we get a big old hashtag DC in chat? Showing appreciation for one for doing, my man. Thank you so much, my dude. That's a easy sandwich in the back today, boys. Gonna get some Jersey mics tomorrow. Thanks so much, my guy. I really appreciate you, boys. The hashtag DC showing appreciation for his wonderful, beautiful donation, my man. Thank you so much, my dude. Let's Roy. What's up, Arky? How you doing, my man? Let's go. Is that what it's supposed to be? Let's go. In full-on Russian, let's go. I like it. Alrighty, boys. Let's get a duel up and running. Yeah, let me get that pinned. Here we go. If you guys want to join the 5V5 1v1 duels in LFG, I'll show you guys how to join in. I'll show you guys how to do it. I told you I'd be here. You did say it. That is true. Not wrong. Big true. Alrighty. What do we got over on the EU, boys? Who do we have that's ready? I saw Sentry, I think, commented with a... there it is. There he is. Ready. Got a 5-man ready to go. We just need a second group over on the EU, boys. We'll get the duels up and running. Let's go down below. What's up, Gutsy? How you doing, my guy? Hope you having a good one, my dude. Enter with the group. Let's go. Sentry and Enter first up for the day. Spectator match. Sentry and Enter XD. Wait. Okay, never mind. It didn't work. I might have misspelled. Definitely misspelled. Enter XD and Sentry. Here we go, boys. Here we go. How are y'all doing? Hope everybody's having a wonderful, beautiful evening. Blades Edge Arena. First arena of the day. Boys. Who's that DMing me at? Yo, Kreiser? What up, my guy? Champ UI? What the hell is that? Wait, is that your actual UI? What the hell? You guys want to peep Kreiser's UI? There's a lot going on here. That's just... Oh my goodness. That is... Am I the only one confused, or is that what is that? Yeah, everybody has like their own UI. Everybody got a personalized UI. But damn, dude, I got my own simple UI. I'm just so used to it at this point. So Twitch, what do it take to play in the duels? Just joining, Martin. Just joining the duels. That's all you gotta do is just joining in and having some fun. You know what I mean? We got ourselves Team 1 together with Arhi as an enhancement, Shaman, Wolf coming back as a Necrolord Beast Mastery, Chokes also as a Necrolord Paladin. We got ourselves Sojira, also another Necro with Chirp as a Night Fae. Is Chirp Night Fae? As a Boomkin, but it's going to be a Boom instead of a Feral Druid. Kited X is going to be the first up running over on Team 1. On that team, also going to answer in the back, Cries Bad, Being All Bad, Francis, as well as Tagsy. Oh, Tagsy, Night Fae Orc. Male. Wait, Tagsy was already Night Fae Orc, wasn't he? I think he was. It's just he never was like, you know, like a male Orc. Like a big old boy. It looks like Kited. Is he the first one? Is he the last one? I think they'll try to figure out on Team 1 who's actually going first, who's actually going last. But Wolf is giving himself an opportunity to at least set up a flare and wait out for the rest of the boys in the 5V5 1v1 duels. Kited going for a bit of a reset. Let's gonna try to see maybe get an opener. Wolf no longer with a flare. Kited. Oh, walks into the flare. That's gonna be Marfred immediately by the rogue. Sits himself on the freezing trap. That was an opener attempt by the rogue. But Wolf should be able to deal with him pretty easily. Popping off cooldowns immediately. Cheap shots not coming out for Kited. Even though that is the art. Big stun gonna be a trigger for the rogue. Trying to see if you're able to bail out of here. Trying not to burn the vanish unless you absolutely have to. Cloak shot his vanish is gonna use. Flare doesn't quite catch him, as Wolf predicted that he would go up on the left side of the platform instead of running forwards. He thought the rogue would go for a bit of a juke, but Kited is going to go for a full reset. I'm surprised he didn't have any bleeds on him or anything like that. That was a really unfortunate opener by the rogue. And the Hunter was able to snipe him out of there in the opener. He is going down for flares. Kind of trying to think to go for a reset. I can totally see the rogue go for a complete reset. Just absolutely go for a complete redo. Literally not even touch the Hunter with a 10-foot pole until every single CD is back up. He does have evasion, so I think he could make someone work with that evasion. If he's able to face the pets and go for a stun, I believe he's able to dodge that stun. Maybe a sap. Wolf catches him in flare yet again. Gonna be the rogue. Shadow step into the pet. Into a freezing trap. Just walked into it twice in a row. Very, very unfortunate, but Wolf is at least going to be able to get the opener stun onto Kaiden with a death chakram flying in. I think this rogue got nothing. He's literally giving up. He's trying to do 2 openers. He ran out of cooldowns, won't even burn invasion to actually play the game. Just gonna go for that full-blown reset. Tagsy get himself set up as an Affliction Warlock. Stick it out to his Affliction Warlock guns, dropping down big old dots, and Wolf is gonna have to wait out and try to see if he can bait out the feign death, because Wolf can remove all those dots. Tagsy popping up big cooldowns, is gonna juke out that interrupt. Wolf going for a feign death for a second. If Tagsy can get it fully dotted up, he'll be in a great position. Shackles Malediction coming out by the Hunter is gonna be a mortal coil out of Tags. The Trinken's getting burned by Wolf, so he's gonna be able to not do much. I guess is the dots together with a Chain of Malediction, making it harder for him to live this. Wolf with the feign death, so clearing himself off of dots. That is still going to be a dark glare, it's part of the fight, but for Wolf it's no longer dots that are amped up anymore. Fear by Tagsy with Malefic Rapture getting swapped around, and that's going to be Wolf with a Turtle Shell going for a bit of a reset. Try to see if he might be able to get himself in a better position as I'm trying to set us up the duels mix, because this song is super nice, it is super jolly, but we need something that's a little bit more active, a little bit more exciting. Tagsy go for a big old port. Wolf finds himself at about less than half health, trying to pop off some cooldowns. Bestial Wrath is up together with Aspect of the Wild as Tagsy looking to get a full UA up and running onto Wolf, trying to make some damage happen. Wolf can feign death this on a 15-second cooldown. He can just remove these dots. Quick drain by Tagsy, doing a bit of damage to Wolf. It is starting to really just push Wolf a little bit lower in health. It's going to go for a bit of a Fleshcraft. Interrupt by Tagsy as he sacrifices the pet to make sure that he has that interrupt available anytime he needs it. Wolf going for a bit of a reset. Tagsy used to get all the dots back onto Wolf. And I feel like that's all he could really do, is maybe if he's able to get the dots, drain him out over time, just whittle him down over time. And we'll see if he's able to do that. Got himself a bit of a drain on Wolf or one of the pets. Keeping dots on the pets will also be very, very helpful, because Wolf is going to need to worry about the pets. As the rating gets higher, the pets are going to melt over time. And the procs with all the dots gives Tagsy potentially more soul shards. Going to be full Bestial Wrath, set it up. Since Tagsy is by himself, the Death Chakram is not going to hit the pet. It is full damage into Tagsy, so it gives Wolf quite a bit of burst, as well as a bunch of focus for a lot more Cobra shots. Tagsy with a Death Pact or Dark Pact, giving him a bit of a shield at a sacrifice of his own health. The shield definitely makes up for the health loss though. Wolf continued to maintain himself as best as he can. He got that, I think he got Ferocity Pets, which gives him a bit of leech, so the more damage he does, the more healing he gets. Trying to go for a fear onto Tagsy while in Soul Shape actually treats you as a beast while you are feared though. So this is going to give him a little bit of potential CC. Big drain by Tagsy, getting Wolf to about half his health, trying to put up UA. Needs to maintain that UA on Wolf at all times for the damage amp. Tagsy looking for a big old soul rod. Getting full down to the Wolf. Wolf getting hit with a stun. Maybe Tagsy can make something walk off this. Big drain feign death by Wolf is going to throw Tagsy in a freezer trap before any dots are set up. Tagsy's pets are attacking the Raptors, the T-Rexes rather. They're a little bit too big for Raptors. Quick stun on Tagsy. Wolf so far has been able to survive this just fine. He just can't really get the burst damage of Tagsy. Tagsy being a Warlock, he does have a bit of that tankiness. The Dark Pack with a shield. The CC chains back to back. Trying to go for the Death Bolt. That's going to be Wolf with the Fade Death. Trying to go to interrupt. Does land the interrupt onto Tagsy's Shadowcast, but the Dark Pack still held strong. Going to be a Shackles Malediction. Trying to go for a Fear on the Shackles. Does he get it? Looks like he can't get the Fear onto Wolf at all. I don't even know how. How is he immune to fear? Is it Bestial Wrath? I think it was Bestial Wrath that makes him completely immune to fear, which let him get a full Shackles Malediction. Tagsy without a Dark Pack for a while. Fear onto Wolf. Trying to go for a big drain. Life draining whatever life he can. Tagsy is a bit under pressure. Putting up dots, but looking to retreat. Get a bit of drain life off the pet. Soul Rod is going to give him no cost for the mana of drain life for a short moment, and is able to drain it from the pets, as well as the Hunter going for a pretty big re-heal. I wonder if you might want to go for like a pet slay build. That's going to be a first stage by Wolf. It's going to be able to get a little bit of healing. until the dot set in. Tagsy with the Dark Pack for that stun. The Dark Pack being a 1 minute cooldown is allowing Tagsy to stay a little survivable here. This is an Affliction Warlock, not the strongest class in PvP game whatsoever. Big turtle shell for Wolf with a flesh cut after. Tagsy with his own shield. And honestly, I don't even know whose game this is going to be. Wolf with a Death Chakram, trying to get some damage in. Has a little bit of sustained damage. Actually looks like he's ramping a little bit. Malefic Raptor's flying for Tagsy. Is able to get some damage on the pet. Swap into the pet for Drain Life instead of Wolf. Knowing that that Feign Death is going to reset for him. So you're making sure to at least drain life from the right pet. First aid for Wolf is able to maintain himself for now. Bestial Wrath is up. Trying to get himself some damage in. Tagsy loading up with dots. But it's going to back up as soon as chooses the Bestial Wrath. Interrupted on nature. Could potentially still get the Shadow Cast in. Trying to go for big drain cast into Immortal Coil into Wolf. Is going to trick it for it. I believe that Soul Rod still attaches to Wolf. Is going to be drain life for free for Tagsy. As well as the pets that he can just drain off of. Dark Pack as he gets low. Wolf under quite a bit of pressure damage wise. The Dark Glare is out. Looking for the line of sight. Needs to go for a Feign Death whenever available to at least remove all the dots. Man, that legendary for Hunters is just insanely good against Affliction Warlocks. Like, Affliction Warlocks, quite a good portion of your damage is Malefic Raptures, the drains, but a huge swath of it is just dots. And the fact that he can just remove those dots without any negatives, like, even if he was able to take a bunch of damage from, like, the Unstable Affliction Dispel, if he was at least able to take a bunch of damage from Unstable Affliction, I think that at least it would be kind of more or less fair, but he can just control, he can just remove these dots whenever he wants to. Tagsy so far has been surviving for quite a bit, 90% dampening, so we're going into some of the longer dampening game today. 8 minutes into the duel. Wolf does have 1 kill on the rogue. And we'll see if Tagsy can maybe make something work of this, or if Wolf can actually push Tagsy over. I believe the dampening benefits Wolf though, because he has the pets, has a little bit of survivability. Tagsy has that shield, he has the wall, he has drain life. Actually, I don't even know. I don't think dampening really benefits either one of these two. It's actually hard to tell which one is going to get the least benefit or the most benefit out of it. But for a game as bursty as this, it is really weird to see the game slow down. UA up onto Wolf. This Feign Death does remove UA like completely with no debuffs, right? Big damage up for Wolf. Stun onto Tagsy, trick out of it. Mortal Coil and Wolf is going to spike up his dodge. Shackle Addiction as Tagsy trying to go for fear onto Wolf. Trying to maintain the UA on Wolf as best he can. Soul Rod to follow. It's going to be a stun right after with a Dark Glare. Quick Feign Death by Wolf removes all the dots completely. Tagsy under a bit of pressure is going to get interrupted on Shadow. Warlock Hellstone is used in order to keep himself alive. Drain life onto Wolf. As long as he has a target to hit with Drain Life, he's actually going to be okay. Unstable Affliction on Wolf. Back up with a Drain Life Feign Death out of Wolf. And Tagsy goes for a port, trying to drain the life of all these pets, but they're undead. I mean, how much life do they really have left in them? 27% dampener as Tagsy looking for a bit of a reset. Drain life on the big old T-Rexes as Wolf got himself a Death Chakra. Mortal Coil sent, but the kill shot goes through. And that's going to be Affliction Warlock down for the count, boys. Nerf Feign. Yo, Feign Death is pretty nuts, isn't it? Feign Death is actually just nuts. Actually kind of insane, not gonna lie. Stun onto Francis as Wolf got himself a bit of damage loading up. Francis got himself the pajamas. Shadow Priest ready to go. Another class with damage over time. The Wolf is just going to be able to hard counter with that Feign Death. Going to be a Francis with a big old Void Eruption. Got himself lots of damage. Wolf with a big flesh cut, but the flesh cut gets punctured through. Stunned with the mind gets to follow. Wolf good. Needs to go for a Feign Death. Does get himself a feint. That's going to be Francis trying to load him back up. Freezing Trap does stop Francis in place. Trinkets out of it. Loaded up Wolf full of dots. Probably going to be shot over death. I think the dots with DP, Pain, and VT might be enough to pull him over. Turtle Shell giving him a little bit of survivability. Needs to get his dots off. Feign Death does allow him. Shadow Crush crashes on him. Keeping him in combat. Cannot catch a Feign Death. Only Shadow where death is all Francis needs to take him out. Is going to drop down Devouring Plague on the Hunter. Taking him out was a bit of a tough one. That's going to be immediate reflect for Sajiro. Trying to get an interrupt onto Francis. Cannot quite get a Stormbolt onto the Shadow Priest. Could be a Shadow. That's going to be dispersed as he sees Sajiro going out full cooldowns. Everything but the banner has been used. Going to be a Cypher to slow down Sajiro for a second with a stun to follow. He's going to trick it out immediately. Francis with mind control. Trying to control Sajiro as best possible. Is going to be no DRs actually. No fear was used earlier. Sajiro definitely has a leap back up. So Francis better have have a mind control ready right after. Sajiro reconnected back with Francis as the Shadow Prince tried to back up out of there. Trying not to get interrupted on mind control. Sajiro tried to reduce the value of that mind control as best he can. Stunning to Francis. Is he going to go for the mind control? I think he might just have to. There's going to be an interrupt on the Shadow. Francis not in a good spot. Big X gets out of the warrior. Shadowman's around for Francis. Needs to land the mind control if he wants to survive this. Barely any health left of Francis. Is at least going to walk Sajiro under. Trying to catch up on health as best as he can. Does he have any kind of self-survivability? I think it's going to be over. He actually was so close and just continued to live just for a little bit longer. Just for a hair longer, but could not do it. Gonna be Anta with a slow onto Sajiro. As the warrior bailing away from Retribution Paladin, stormbolting him as he closes the gap. And Sajiro looking to get some damage in, getting himself procs, has himself some damage available if necessary. Blind onto Sajiro as Anta looking just to one-shot him with a red pally, full holy damage that doesn't break blind into a Hydra Raptor. Sajiro had no health whatsoever, and Anta just hits him with a wombo combo of 1, 2, and he is done for. With Arki going to be up next in the handsome Shamansman. With a Thunder on the Anta as he sees the Shield Avengers. The Pally is down on cooldowns for a bit, so we'll see where it goes from there. Since he's down on CDs for a moment, gotta be Arhi get a hit with a bit of a slow. As Anta got himself plenty of damage rolling in. Arhi trying to see if he might be able to turn around versus the Paladin. Flashlight's coming out. It's going to get the interrupt to the Holy. Does he have the damage? He's going to have himself the big harvest just to take him out. As soon as he got that Holy interrupt, he knows there's no bubble. He just needed to go for the damage, and Chain Harvest crit is going to end up taking him out. Kreisbit up next as a Destro Warlock. As Arhi is going to back up for a second, sacrificing the soul of Taxi while he is at it. And Kreisbit is going to have to hold down the fort. There's still 2 more boys after Arhi. Is he going to be able to do much about it? Hopefully. Going to be the Succubus walking up towards Arhi, hitting him with a Succubus Seduction immediately. Kreisbit with a banish on the Earth Elemental Pet. Bonzafell Cataclysm. As well as a Casbolt onto Arhi, taking a bit of damage in the opener, popping off wall to try to see if he can survive this. Fear by Kreisbit just trying to CC Arhi as best he can while that wall is up. Might be able to get big damage on him. Mortal Coil after that with a trinket for Arhi, interrupting Kreisbit on fire. And it's going to be a big old port for Kreisbit, actually just bailing away completely. Does not have an interrupt for Arhi for a while, getting the fear on the Earth Elemental though. And Arhi finds himself kind of low on health, is going to go for healing, needs the Maelstrom, has plenty of mana, just needs the Maelstrom to make it happen. Kreisbit tried to slow Arhi as best as he can. Succubus Seduction doesn't quite hit him, stun onto the Succubus, as Arhi is going to back up for a second. The healing at 51% dampening is quite hampered. So there's only so much you can do about it right now. Succubus you see onto Arhi as Kreisbit goes for a big old port away. Casbolt into Bonzafell onto Arhi. Cataclysm to follow. Big old blast of damage onto Arhi. And Kreisbit is looking to maybe finish the job here. Just in a few minutes, Instacast got himself an Immolate rolling, trying maybe not to get interrupted too badly. Big Instacast as Arhi got himself plenty of self-healing. Ghost Rules are up to add towards that Maelstrom. Has a little bit of mana to work with. At 58% dampen is going to be quite rough though. Kreisbit at least wants to fear one of the Ghost Rules away. Arhi finds himself at no health whatsoever. Does get himself a short heal. And it's going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. But Kreisbit just needs a little bit of damage. You see the setup. Mortal Coil, most likely Fear, Casbolt, Wombo combo. Is going to get a Casbolt with a Bonzafell. Arhi by himself at no health. Interrupt him on fire. Kreisbit just needs one execute ability. That's all he needs. He's going to get the Conflagrates. Didn't have the Shatterburn, but definitely had the Conflagrates to make it happen. And Chokes is going to be up next as a Necrolord Paladin, tossing in the Necrolord Gavel, which is going to give him next Tempest Verdict, bit of an extra AoE. Kreisbit trying to drop down Infernal on him, is going to have to rotate a wall just to see if he can survive the Paladin Burst, get him fully dotted up, banish on the pet of Chokes. As Kreisbit trying to do the most damage that he can. Big port, trying to keep the Paladin out the open. Chokes, going up with the Wake of Ashes on all these pets, stunning all of them. Stun around the corner for Kreisbit. Trick out of Chokes is committing a trinket. Bubble as the Mortal Coil comes out, and Kreisbit is out of there with a gateway. Just doesn't even want to be anywhere near the Paladin. As Pally catching up with a Fleshcraft, being a shadow spell, cannot be locked out. Actually, I guess without a pet for Kreisbit, you can't relock him on a perverse place. But for Chokes, that is shadow spells as well as the holy spells that he can cast off for both. At least he's getting value for the both of them. Succubus CC on to Chokes with a big Casbolt set up for Kreisbit. Bonzafell to follow. as he get himself a little bit of damage, but chokes without a bubble could be in a really bad spot. Blessing protection not doing anything for you. Big cannonball crashed it onto him. And Christman looking to end him with executes is gonna land it. With Chirp gonna be up next. Boom can immediate convoke, no way to stop it unless the succubus CC does summon. Some star charges did go through it, Christman, but not too bad. Big old knockup by Chirp is gonna eat a mortal coil, and a fear doesn't quite connect. The line of sight is established, so there's only so much you can do about it. Try to see maybe get a stun into Chirp, but the Boomy is going to hit him with as many star surges. Why? He's got the big incarn rolling, the big lazy beam from the sky with Fear of Balloon. Doing a bit of damage. Star surges, 2 of them actually. Get a Crisman pretty low in health. Chirp, does he have enough resources? Going for shackles. The thing is going to be lights out for Crisman. Barely surviving. Almost no health. Star surge snipes him out. And Chirp does end up committing enough damage and enough mobility just to snipe him out. First duel and everybody got a chance to play, boys. I like it. I very much like that, dude. Very much like that. Alrighty, boys, let's see if we get another group up and running, yeah? Let's see if we get some variety tonight, dudes, yeah? I want to see some variety, dude. I want to see some alts. I want to see some new people, dude. I want to see some new blood. So if you guys want to reform your groups, get some new people in there, always welcome. Always welcome. How many duels are we at here? 230, 31, 32, 37. Yo, EU has been doing a bunch of duels, dude. A bunch. Dal group ready. My man, Atho. I guess we'll throw you versus Sentry in just a second. As soon as this here is over. Boys, thank you so much for joining the duels. You guys are always welcome to join, by the way. If you want to join the 5v5 1v1 duels, go to player versus player, pre-made group, custom PvP, hit find group, type number 5 at the top, enter to look for a 5v5 1v1 groups. Most groups will be called like something like 5v5 1v1 duels Dalaran. So you guys are always welcome. More than welcome to join in. I just gotta set something up here real quick. I forgot to do a thing. So give me a second. Give me a second. Hold on, boys, we'll get them up and running in just a second. Real quickly. No worries. Real quickly, boys. Real quickly. Here we go. Okay, cool. Now we should be good. Dalamo for the day. Maybe Cries will make a group for the duels. Good night, good night. Thank you so much, Code by Anto. Maybe we'll see you next week, my guy. Atho, man. Yo, let's get you in here, dude. We haven't seen Atho in a while, dude. Is Atho still that Venthier, or is he going for like Necrolord? He's trying something different. It's really annoying because I would have won if he didn't cheat. He didn't cheat. I like how the moment it gets stunned, the moment Paladin dies, the enemy room is miles away. I guess Chirp did kind of start waddling at you a little early, didn't he? To be fair, he did start waddling at you a little early. But you know what? Yeah, try not to be out of the room until the person in front of you guys is dead. Yeah, try to stay in the room until it's your time to duel. You know what I mean? Try your very best if you can. Yeah, I think it's just for the sake of fairness in the duels, because we want to keep the duels fair. I can go over the rules again if we need to. Let me also switch to the next song here, boys. Well, this is a pretty good one. I like that. Alrighty, switch. Team Math is looking for a 5th. Hopefully they'll load in. But Team 1, we got us as Archie as an enhancement. Shaman, we got Wolf in the back with chokes. Starting to complete another direction. We got Sajira as a arms warrior with Chirp as a booby. With Arthur's going to be back in for Team Alliance over on EU. With Arthur enjoying the fight on his full-blown golden steed, golden armor. And this is going to be first up. Gusha in the back of the team is a Pharaoh. We got Kib as a Shadow Priest and Leatherface as a Demon Hunter. Arthur just charging at R. He's seeing that Earth Elemental popping off. I wonder if Arthur's still sticking with the Venthier guns, because Atherman has been a Venthier red palette with a bit of holy, bit of prot here and there, just mostly because, hey, I like the Covenant. What kind of weapon you got, actually? What is that? Wait, is that a... That's not a new weapon or anything, right? Is that Cataclysm? I want to say that looks like Kata. like Cataclysm and Gladiators, something. Big burst coming out of Atho as Arhi is going to go for a trinket, trying to go for a wall and just to reduce and dampen the amount of damage Atho been got, as the man's got plenty of damage rolling up, is playing that Venthyr. Hex really quickly by Arhi is going to get adaptation out of Athoman. I don't really know what if he can utilize that adaptation that Athoman is running to his advantage. Big Ascendance is up. Athoman could be in a bad spot. Shield of Edge, Storm, Sundering coming out. Athoman trying to pop defenses with the wall. Had to rotate everything. The Eye for an Eye came out to try to reduce some of the damage that Arhi got going for him. But the nature damage, especially at range, is going to make him super giga strong. Going to be Arhi trying to drop down Sun Totem to Atho. Is going to be able to avoid it. Athoman is going to have to focus on self-preservation, self-survivability for a little bit here, boys. We'll see if he can do it. Flashlight trying to see if he can make it happen. Ashen to follow. And Arhi trying to see if he can survive. Really, or actually, it looks like Athoman is the one trying to see if he can survive this. I honestly was thinking Ashen with Holy Paladin. I'm just too used to them making big damage happen. But he's going to walk out of it for a second. Final verdict is up. And it looks like Arhi is actually going to be okay for now. Athoman trying to see if he can walk it back into Ashen. Is he able to? Yeah, it's going to be free damage. Is that the border? I can barely see the border of Ashen. Unless you look on the enemy team. Normally you could see Ashen pulsate with Malice, but here we can't. Big Doom wins proc for Arhi, trying to keep Athoman in place. Athoman under a lot of pressure. Lots of freebie damage for Arhi. It's going to hit him with a stun, trying to catch up on healing. Arhi wants to get an interrupt on that holy cast as soon as possible, and Athoman just going to bail up out of them. Dora Shadows up for Arhi. Athoman can actually use Dora Shadows to get a juke out of Arhi in case he wants to go just for flashlight healing in front of him. But Atho is definitely going to have to consolidate his cooldowns. Arhi with a trinket very, very soon. Big damage out of Athoman, though. Getting those big crits at Arhi, who is going to go burning Maelstrom in order to maintain himself and get himself healed up. Trying not to get interrupted by Arhi. Arhi down on cooldowns for a bit. Might have himself Doomans very, very soon. Going to be a stun onto Atho. Could be really bad. Human racial out of it just to bail out of it. Cannot break out of that stun with adaptation. There's only 2 seconds worth of stun. Hodge onto Arhi. Looks like he's not going to be able to get Arhi to pop a trinket. He is waiting out for that stun for a while. He's going to go for a massive healing, burning that man in Maelstrom to keep himself alive. Rotated wall as Athoman get himself full cooldowns rolling. The final verdict as well as Seraphim. Going to be able to deal with that totem very easily. Trying to see if he can catch up to Arhi. Make some damage happen. Tossing out judgments, but looks like Seraphim is down for the time being. I don't know if Athoman is playing like a blind build or anything. Is he playing blind? Or is he playing maybe anything? I guess he's playing... I'm pretty sure we're seeing blind for now. But he's going for like the big one-shotter build for the Paladin. Final verdict. Big Seraphim. But I don't know if he's playing... Is he playing... Last verdict? Is it playing final verdict Lego? Or is it normal Templar's verdict? I guess next time we see him go for a... It is the last verdict. Okay, it is the final verdict. Sunder into a stun. Does Arhi have the damage? He does get himself Doom and stun. Trinkets out of it. Gonna be Athoman. Trying to see if he can keep himself alive. Big Ascendance is up with Shield of Venus rolling for Athoman. Trying to maybe make that Shield of Venus do damage back to Arhi. Big slap damage and Holy. Athoman looking for survivability. So is Arhi. He's still got Doom winds rolling. He's still got the Wind Strikes rolling. Athoman needs to get himself a heal. Trying to generate as much Holy Power as he can off of Arhi to keep himself alive. Blessing Protection is all that Athoman has the Word of Glory to at least keep himself running. Trying to go for that juke on the Shadow into Holy Cast. Has the mana to burn. Doesn't have the Holy Power to generate. Maybe trying to use the Holy Power for damage a little bit later. Arhi has a wall back up. Athoman trying to keep himself alive as best as he can. No trinket onto Arhi. Maybe Athoman can set something up. If he can get himself lots of Holy Power, get himself a pre-Seraphim, and then get himself big blast of damage at Arhi. It looks like Arhi's backing up out of there. Missing that interrupt. Athoman is going to maybe be able to close the gap, but Arhi's staying to go, so try not to let him get too close too easily. Stun totem dropping down. Maybe Arhi makes some damage happen. Hex gonna get out of that immediately. Try to go for rebuke on that movement for Arhi as he tried to port out of there. I think Athoman has himself a potential here. A potential setup. Wings it back up. Everything is back up. Hammer. That's going to be Seraphim up and running. Wall up for Arhi. For that Seraphim. Is Athoman going to commit cooldowns into the wall? Might that be a good idea, but I think that wall lasts the same time as Seraphim does. Doesn't it? Hodge, as wall's about to fall off, final verdict is up, trying to make the last verdict happen, trying to make the big damage drop down. Gonna be Atho, how much to take down the totem. Hex interrupted with Dora shadows up for Ark. He's still eating those verdicts either way. Hex back up, and Athoman, no adaptation, cannot really bust out of it easily. Bubble coming back in 20 seconds, trying to make the damage happen versus Arky, but the handsome Shaman healing is maybe a little much. Big Chain Harvest does get Atho kind of critical over there. As we get into that 6% dampening rolling up, 5 minutes into this duel, almost 6 as we hit that 6-minute mark. Arky coming back with every single cooldown very soon. But Athoman is trying to hold his ground the best possible. He got Bubble, he's got Shield of Vengeance, he's got Eye for an Eye, so as long as he doesn't overlap these defenses all at once, as long as he doesn't give up Shield of Vengeance into an Eye for an Eye, into a Bubble right after, he'll be okay. Ashen Hollow is down. Arky does not want to play with it at all. Does not want to touch Ashen Hollow whatsoever. Might be a little rough. I think he's a Hodge CD talent. I think he is to Immerse. I think he is as well. Seraphim is up for Athoman. Hodge onto Arky. Could go for a trinket. That's going to be Athoman trying to make the damage happen. Doesn't crit onto Arky. Big healing up for Arky either way. Athoman trying to make some damage happen. Sunder, maybe a stun. Arky goes for a heal instead. Athoman does not focus on a totem at all. Going to be a Hex, but he doesn't quite connect. And Athoman is going to be able to adapt out of the Hex. Wait, no, apparently not. Oh, you know why? It's because of Sundering. It does put him in an incap for a minute. It puts him in an incapacitated state, which is the same state as a Poly, which is the same state as a Hex. So he does DR it, so he's able to get like a half a Hex, but at least it's a bit of CC if he was looking for like that longevity, if he was not trying to force out that adaptation. But so far, Arky has no wolves. He does have this backup. He's probably gonna have Doomwinds. Doomwinds back up with a stun onto Atha. Does he go for the big Doomwinds proc? Looks like Atha is trying to see if he can get counter aggressive. Athaman got a lot of damage available. Hodge onto Arky. Full damage up. Trinket with a wall up for Arky. And Athaman might just be playing defensive here, using the wings. Wait, no. Shield of Vengeance. Maybe he can just stay aggressive here. Gonna be that totem backup. I don't think Athaman gets caught in that totem. Does he? Doesn't Hand of Freedom just keep him mobile though? Interrupted him on the Shadow Hex. Breaks him out with that adaptation. Athaman trying to see if he can end this duel here. Gonna be battle message again for Arky right now. Athaman still has a bubble if he needs to. Does not have an interrupt for a little bit. Arky looks like he recovered. He's going to eventually lose that Battle Master Trinket. If Athaman can get his health kind of low, he might be able to do something here. Going to be a sentence. Athaman with a Hodge. Arky cannot do anything about this. So Athaman should be able to catch up. As long as he can get away, that is a 30-yard range for Arky. Going for the wind strikes. Athaman trying not to give a bubble as best as he can. Arky charging in Ghost Wolf. Does he get the interrupt? He doesn't get the interrupt on the Holy Cast. And Athaman was able to at least wait out the Ascendance. Can he get himself any more survivability and healing? He definitely needs himself more holy power. Flash of Lights, Stone Totem next to him is going to just be able to back away from it. And is trying to maintain himself as best possible. No wall for a little bit for Arky. No trinket for a while either. I don't know if Athaman can maybe capitalize on this somehow. He's not really focusing on killing that totem or all. Sunder by Arky could go for a 3-second hex onto Atha. Seraphim is up. Arky needs to get himself a wall unless Atha got himself a big burst. Stun with a final verdict. Does Athaman make the damage happen? Trying to go for the final verdicts, but it looks like it's not going to be enough. And Athaman is going to have to back up out of here for a moment. He could go for an eye here if Arky is going to commit damage. It actually might be better to go eye for an eye once he drops down Doomwinds. Actually, I believe that his Doomwinds right there. Does he want to go for it? Athaman might have to bubble it. Try to flash a light. Try to keep himself alive. He's actually just on the cusp of death for so long. He's going to get Word of Glory, seeking himself rolling for at 27% dampening though. That is going to be a little rough. That is actually going to be a little bit rough. And Athaman trying to see if he can survive this as best as he humanly can. Eye for an Eye is up. As the stun totem comes down, Athaman is going to take a bit of damage here. I don't think Eye for an Eye can reflect damage back to enemies unless you're like... Can it actually do damage back if you're CC'd? Like if a rogue stuns you, it keeps hitting into you while you have Eye for an Eye. Can you still hit him back? Does the ability to reflect damage back to enemies or counter them? Or does the Paladin counter them? I actually wonder how it works. 10-minute mark, 31% dampening. The 2 healing juggernauts are still alive and kicking. Wall is up for Arcade Trinkets. As his cooldowns coming out of Athemim is going to get himself the Earth Elemental Hex. That's going to be adaptation, breaking it with the Rebuke, interrupting Archie on the Shadow Cast. Has himself plenty of Nature Cast to keep himself alive though. Sunder for a second onto Ather, got himself the big Battle Master Stricken, so it's a double health increase. Earth Elemental and Battle Master Stricken just giving him extra health to work with. As Atherman got himself Word of Glory, he's hopefully to keep himself alive. And Archie has an interrupt. If Atherman isn't careful, he could get interrupted on Holy. If Archie goes in, dropping down big damage, Atherman actually going to be able to avoid the stun totem by backing out away from the what is it? The chain link fence. Big. Oh my god. All this prep work, I did not expect the massive damage out of the chain harvest at the very end. Honestly, it took me by surprise. I was just trying to explain what Atherman did with that lightning totem. But he's going to be going down without burning a bubble as he had cooldowns coming up too, so that's super unfortunate. Kib hanging out in the back of the arena, trying not to give Archie any line of sight to work with. That's going to be full ascendance. Kib kind of low in health, no interrupt available for Archie. Trying to see if he might be able to burst down Kib. He has the wind strikes that is doing quite a bit of damage. The wind fear procs are real. Kib might have the pop defenses here. Stun onto Archie with mind games to follow. Full eruption. I don't think he's going to be able to hit him with any of the horror effects, but might not even need to. Just going to be able to capitalize on the big old mind games and continue the pressure afterwards. Oh my goodness, dude. Kib taking him out with Choke's going to be up next. 42% dampening at this moment of the game. You're not going to be able to get any kind of healing whatsoever. Absolutely zero healing provided at this moment. Stun onto Kib as Choke's trying to make some damage happen. Stun onto Kib. But all that burst is going to go into a dispersed 60% damage reduction. Can it be higher? Or is it only a heal increase? Might be only a heal increase. It's been a bit. Kib actually finds himself kind of low. Greater Fade dodging some of the attacks from Chokes, but it's only a matter of time before Chokes is back up to business. Is going to be able to trinket out of it. Does not sit CC long at all. Take it out, Kib. Being a Shadow Priest, it's just rough. It's just rough sometimes. He burned Disperse. He burned Greater Fade, so he already doesn't have dodge anymore. So it does put him in a bad spot. Choke's going in for a Hammer of Justice with Gusha, and he got himself big procs for the Tempest Verdicts with Divine Storms. Gusha actually has his own self heal when you drop slow, proc it early. So there goes that Emergency Frenzy regen. Shield of Vengeance out for Chokes. He can actually keep hitting into Thorns if he wants to. Looks like the Cyclone is going to stop him in place for a moment. He still has Shield of Vengeance for a minute though. Maybe he got mobility. Looks like he does a good shit, popping on the bear form to catch up on a little bit of healing. But it's going to be mostly okay. At least by the looks of it, it's going to be mostly okay. And Chokes is looking for a bit of that reset. And so is Gusha. Actually, both of them are just going completely other direction. Chokes does have bubble down for, I want to say a little bit less than 3 minutes. I don't think he used it. It's hard to tell because it only says 3 minutes here. But I think he has maybe like 2 minutes 30 or something on it. So if he can live long enough, he might be able to use it versus Arthas, and as well as Leatherface. Blessing Protection rotated as Gusha tries to go in for a big Convoke Burst. Catches him with a Hodge as the Druid tries to leap away. Choke trying to set up for potentially big damage with a Necrolord Covenant. He got them Necrolord Gallows dropping in. Getting the procs up to Gusha. Gusha popping off Barkskin. Isn't going to be enough though. Quick maim onto Chokes. It's going to be a Fleshcraft as he immunes the CC with a Cyclone. Gusha is going to be able to get himself regrowth too. If only Chokes had a hand of freedom there to interrupt that Cyclone in the first place, interrupt that heal. Gotta stay away from Gusha's Thorns for a moment. Does not have Shield of Vengeance for a bit. Gusha popping off wall just to not have to worry about his own defense and just trying to stay aggressive. Hodge by Chokes is gonna get him some wing spur. Gusha tries to trinket, but Chokes takes him out and just snipes him out of the big burst out. Leatherface up next with Chokes. About a 2 minute wait on that bubble at this point, maybe a minute 30 or so. Gonna be Leatherface used to make the most damage happen while the immunities are down for the Paladin. Shield of Vengeance is gonna pop into Leatherface, popping off full Metamorphosis, ready to go. Hodge onto the Demon Hunter, not burning a trinket just yet. The Demon Hunter does not have the craziest defensives, but should hopefully be able to live this long enough. Trinket out of Chokes as Demon Hunter goes in for a Fleshcraft, so there goes a little bit of that defense that he's trying to supplement for playing out that Necrolord. If he can get the demons to proc as well as 6% dampening, it's not really going to be that much healing, But if you can get a demon to proc while doing damage to chokes, at least a 20% damage increase. Stun onto chokes, no bubble for 40 seconds. Does he have any survivability whatsoever? Popping off wings to try to burn as much holy power into Word of Glory. Wings amping up his healing by 20%. Maybe he could crit more than enough in order to survive this. Trying to continue to stay alive as best as he can, but I think it's going to be down for a count for him as Leatherface does carve him down with the first aid up immediately. Wolf not letting Leatherface get too much recovery. I-beam as Leatherface cannot get a single proc on demon. There it goes. Actually gets a decent heal for 46% dampening. Time's going to be shackles as Leatherface goes in for a reversal on those shackles. Stun onto the demon hunter. I don't even know how this guy is alive for now. Darkness down for the DH, but he's still getting hit through the darkness. Not lucky enough. It looks like Wolf is going to be able to get those kill shots, the critical damage, in order to get him low. Arthur's up next from hailing from Blackmoor. Got himself a more silver version of Athaman set. Wolf catching up a little bit of first aid at 66% dampening. You're not getting any kind of healing at this point. And Arthur's already taken a bit of damage from those pets. Literally, Wolf not even touching them. There's just the pets doing this much work. So Arthur's without any ability to really heal up. I mean, look at that healing. You're running on limited time. You're only staving off the auto attacks from the T-Rexes, but they're eventually gonna win. They will literally solo you if you just sit back there. You will run out of mana. You're not gonna. There's no way you're gonna burn defenses just for the T-Rexes. So Arthas needs to make a play. He needs to think about something. These T-Rexes are gonna chase him no matter where he goes. He needs to connect with Wolf. He needs to make some damage happen. He needs to be smart with his immunities. Blessing protection bubble. Gonna be a stun as Wolf. Close the gap. Gonna be a human racial out of Arthas to get himself out of the stun. Shield of it itself does not last long at all. And Wolf burning off Turtle as Arthas is going down in flames. Gonna be the bubble with flash of light. Has wings, and the wings are amping up his healing, but 72% dampener, reducing the amount of healing this man has because they were so late into the duel. Arthur just cannot catch up. He's got himself the hammer's throw for a lot of holy power generation, blinding the pets for a second, which gives him a little bit of a break to maybe get himself one more heal. But the pets are back. I mean, it's over. It's literally over with a kill shot from below. Arthur just should have capitalized on the moment when he saw it. There was a small moment where he maybe could have just ran at him, land a stun, force a trinket, reset, and then go at it again. I think that's all you had to do. That's the only thing you could do. Alrighty, Cries, you got a group? Let's go, dude. Ready to look for Answer's group? We can get Answer's group and maybe Athaman if Athaman still has a group. Just to get ourselves variety in here, boys. I'm down. If you guys are down, I'm down. EUSL. Playlist? I can get you a playlist which we're listening to. There you go, my guy. On Big Damp, you need to fear the pets and opponent using Word of Glory. True, true, true. Wait, Jesus is ready? I think we do this. I think we throw Jesus and Cries at one another. I forgot the Pallies have Turn Evil. I think that's something that a lot of Pallies are forgetting, that you do have the ability of Turn Evil. It is actually pretty good. It actually can benefit you greatly. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Here we go. Do 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 do. Let's get Chrysler and Jesus in here, boys. Chrysler and Jesus. Here we are. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Hey bro, what's up, Victor? How you doing, my man? Hope you having a good one, my dude. That's what happens when you where a class has to spend his damage resource to heal versus a class that gets to heal for free instantly with an arbitrary cost of mana. Nerf enhanced heals. Yo, they need to probably buff the amount of damage that Lightning Bolt does for enhance just to make it worth it for them, because right now it's really not worth it to impress it. Like, unless you're playing Ventier, which gives you that Chain Harvest, which has a whole, like, you know, a reduction in mana or reduction in casting time and does more damage. That's the only bit that's really like worth the while. Like in PvE, Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, all that stuff is decent, but in PvP it just doesn't really do that much. So if it did a lot more damage, or if you could amp it somehow, I think it'd be a lot better. Yo, let me crack a cold one, boys. I'm out here. I meant to have a soda so I can get Sam caffeine in me today. I mean, the damage is a lot, yeah, but the healing is also quite a bit too. Definitely. Definitely. Switch. We got ourselves team 1 together with Cry's Bad. Looks like Cry's is going to be potential first up. On the team, we got ourselves Francis waiting down in the back with G-Funk. We got ourselves Cajix going back in as Assassination and Tagsy in the back as Affliction versus Bach as a Marksman Hunter on team 2. Jesus on that Frost, DK Leatherface joining that fight as well as Orlane as a Shadow Priest. And we got Shinigami, another Shadow Priest in the back. Gonna be the Succubus CC around the corner with immediate Trinket. Wait, Orlane choosing to Trinket. That Succubus Seduction. He literally just doesn't want to take any damage from it at all. Any damage whatsoever. As Chrysbert looking for a bit of a reset himself. Huh. Orlane chilling behind the pillar. He wants to approach the Succubus, hiding itself cloaked in stealth. And if Orlane does not make a move, Skysbat could actually just wait out until Succubus gets him. Coming in with a PI, trying to get some damage onto Chrysbat, but it's immediate port by the Warlock, actually pushing the Succubus back next to him. So far, Orlane has not really been able to make the damage happen. He did activate PI, but that is a cooldown. Burned a little bit quick. What's up, Chilpus? I do, man. Dr. Pepper Best Soda? Hell yeah, my dude. Succubus CC, Chrysbat could potentially just walk out there. There it is. He wants to make sure he's playing the game on his terms, hitting him with a big old Chaos Bolt, Bonzo fell, maybe a Cataclysm around the corner. Orlane trying to see if he can avoid it. Infernal coming in down as Chrysbit just wants to burn the boy down really quickly, maybe force out all the cooldowns. There goes Disperse. And Orlane is kind of low on CDs that he could really use. It's going to be a port for Chrysbit, trying to avoid the AoE fear out of Orlane, who does need to get pretty close to Chrysbit to land the fear. Big Chaos wants to fly down with Dark Pact. That's going to be down for the Count Shadow Priest. Sniped out of the game. It looks like Leatherface is going to be up next. How to defeat a guy controlling demons. Just send in a guy who's there to slay the demons. Literally there to hunt them down. Stun onto Chrysbit. Succubus CC interrupts the burst out of Leatherface, putting him in a bit of a tight spot. Chaos Bolt loaded up, ready to go. Smacking Leatherface to the side with a Cataclysm as well as a Bonzafell. Quick imprisoned by Leatherface, and is going to get himself a Flesh Cuff just to get him back up and running. Chrysbit got himself plenty of instants thrown out versus Leatherface with a Mortal Coil to follow. Going to be Incinerates getting loaded up. And the Succubus is there trying to do what he can, but finally Leatherface able to get a son of Chrysbit, able to get at least a big old eye beam rolling, but it is going to be shut down pretty early on. Soul Rod up next for Chrysbit, trying to make some kind of damage happen. Big port is up. Leatherface is to catch up to him. So far, Chrysbit is the one that's hurting quite a bit, while Leatherface has been pretty survivable. I wonder if Leatherface is ever worth just stacking the Succubus, because that could be a demon soul for him to slay, as well as a 20% damage increase. If he could just somehow cleave the Succubus for free. And actually, it might not be a bad idea just to at least keep the Succubus low, so it's always an opportunity, always an option. Stun under Chrysbit, trying to get himself some damage in, but that's going to be Demon spawning in, trying to banish out the pet for Leatherface. And the Demon Hunter at least has a demon nearby. He can slay it. He could butcher it, slay it, get 20% health, or basically like a fourth of your health bar. And a 20% damage increase whenever he needs to. Getting kind of low. He's going to slay the demon, catching the soul immediately, and giving himself a little bit of a damage increase. If he's able to capitalize, get on top of Chrysbit, he might be able to make something work. But the biggest disadvantage of playing a Demon Hunter is there's no slow breaks. If you get some kind of slow on you, you do have full rushes, you do have the double jump as well as glide, you do have the Demon Hunter disengage with a, what is it called? What is the Demon Hunter disengage called? I actually forget. Actually drawing a hard blank here. But you do have the disengage. You do have full rushes for mobility, but you don't have any ways to break slows. You have your master that increases your movement speed slightly, but the slows completely cancel it out. Chaos Bolt get it set up as Leatherface is going to take a bit of damage, but looks like he took almost none. It took a little bit of damage. Didn't pop any cooldowns. Not even a blur. I wonder if he has like some kind of a heal rolling at the same time. There's no Warlocks on his team, so I wonder. Chrysbit trying to avoid him as best as they can, though, just making sure to keep that range. So whenever Leatherface can reconnect, he'll be alright. As soon as the Demon Hunter finally gets up close next to Chrysbit, it is going to be immediate trinket by the Warlock to try to CC him as best as they can. Leatherface keeping that active Demon Soul active just next to him, while Infernal is keeping him warm, slaying the demon, taking the soul, catching up on a massive amount of healing, and Kreisbed already has a CC chain to turn it around. Big old Casbolt with the Shadow Fury set up right after, imprisoned between the CC by Leatherface just to put some control into Kreisbed. And Kreisbed swapping out the pets. He's actually swapping out for the Fell Hunter. I don't really know what he could really do. I guess he can interrupt Leatherface's I-Beam. But I think a Succubus might have been a way better pet. To try to see if he can maybe get the Succubus. I think he's regretting his decision going for the big old port. Leatherface does have the mobility to reconnect. He definitely should slay his demon as soon as possible before that thing runs out. Does lay the interrupt on the Succubus re-summon as Kreisbed trying to use the mobility to get the hell out of there. I think Kreisbed, by going for that Succubus play, the Succubus swap, he might have put himself in a really bad situation. Does he have enough CC to deal with Leatherface? Mortal Coil could happen. Is going to get interrupted on the I-Beam. Mortal Coil with a Fury to follow. Most likely is going to try to go for a demon swap right there. Leatherface could shrink it if he wanted to, but he's not going to do that just yet. He has a demon chasing after him. Can swipe, can take him out whenever needed. But otherwise he's okay. Casbolt get it set up. Leatherface does catch some line of sight. It looks like we're at a bit of a standstill. But Leatherface is unable to get close to Kreisbed at all. He literally just can't close that gap. He got a lot of mobility, but the slows, the CC with the Mortal Coil, Fear right after, and now that the Succubus joins the fight. Even more constant slows for the Warlock to, for the Demon Hunter to deal with. Kreisbed does get locked down for just a second, just a hair by Leatherface. He's trying to see if he can send a Casbolt back at him. Does Kreisbed have any mobility at all? The Mortal Coil at Leatherface, as the Demon Hunter is still holding on to a trinket. Interrupted Kreisbed on fire, but it is still shadow spells that he can send out. That is most of the Curse of Exhaustion, Fear onto Leatherface. Trinkets out of it. There goes the Demon Hunter's one trinket that he burns. Stun into Kreisbed with an I-Beam. Does get the full beam with a stun to follow. Does he have enough damage? That is going to be Kreisbed with a big port away with a demonic portal. Does have the massive gateway as Leatherface looking to catch up to him. Is going to have the Demon Soul spawning on top of him. Could slay the Demon Soul. Try to stay on top of Kreisbed. Just continues to throw glaives as that is the only thing he can essentially do. And was that a Succubus CC on top of it as well? That might have been a Succubus Seduce that didn't last long at all. Does he have the stun to catch the Warlock? Catches up to him for a second. Kreisbed doesn't have Mortal Coil for a second. Needs to send it down as soon as possible. Mortal Coil is sent. Does he have any CC to follow up? Succubus does not have the opportunity to control, baiting the Demon Hunter by the pillar just to port behind the pillar. Just behind another set of wall again. Going to be a stun around the corner. Trinket by the Warlock. Drop it down Infernal with the Fear onto Leatherface. Most likely the Infernal is going to break it. Kaiser is loading him up full of dots. Leatherface has Blur. He has everything available. I don't think he needs any of it. I-Beam onto Kreisbed does end up taking him out. Such a long game between the two. I never really realized just how much kite ability a Warlock has until you see that duel. And it looks like Tagsy is actually given the opportunity to at least get full dots on the Leatherface. He's given a bit of that honored duel right now, as he's not really getting to progress, even letting him set up all the ports. Is Leatherface just that confident? He's like, you know what? I beat a Destro Warlock, and Affliction Warlock is nothing. You know what I mean? Is the Demon Hunter solid choice for 1v1? They're generally not the strongest 1v1 class, unless you could just stay on your target the whole time. If they have that survivability, they could. Definitely if they have the survivability. And sometimes they lack that survivability, especially as the games get really high into dampening. But generally not. Generally not the best 1v1. Gonna be a big old I-Beam trinket out of Tagsy as sees the Demon Hunter setting up. Taking a page out of Kreiser's book. As soon as the Demon Hunter's on him, he wants to make sure to peel him off as best as possible. The combos the Demon Hunter has with the I-Beam, Blade Dance, the Chaos Strikes can be pretty deadly. Gonna be a free pet spawning him for Leatherface. It's actually trying to make some bursts happen, just continuing to keep Leatherface CC locked with Fears alone. But I don't really know if the Affliction Warlock has the same punch that a Destro does. Look at Leatherface catching up on all the health at 26% dampening. Stun around the corner. Gonna be the dark bag, keeping him alive just for a little bit longer. Leatherface holding on to his interrupt until he absolutely needs it. Is gonna land that interrupt as another demon spawns in. Tagsy looking for the stable affliction. Could be Leatherface just removing those dots and reflecting them back to Tagsy if he wanted to. Drain life does allow Tagsy to catch up on a little bit of health. Shadow Fear to follow. Leatherface has the demon next to him, so he can slay it in a moment. Unless Tagsy can just fear out and CC Leatherface is gonna slay another demon. 29% dampening. This guy is continuing to heal as much as humanly possible. Fear by tags and trying to catch up on drain lives. And Leatherface is prepared to go for a long haul game, dude. He better have been just prepared, just knowing that, okay, it's another Warlock. There's going to be Curse of Exhaustion. It's going to be really exhausted catching up to him. That's going to be Soul Shape really early up for tags. He actually is going to be put in a situation where he can't really do much against Leatherface for now. Unless he has more mobility, he's going to try to see if he gets counter-aggressive with Dark Soul, what is it? Dark Soul Hysteria, I believe it is, for Affliction Warlock. But a Dark Soul regardless, try to go for a drain into Leatherface, got himself Flesh Cap to give himself a little bit of tank, and his Dark backed us up for Tagsy, just to give him a little bit more survivability in this. Mortal Coil send at the Demon Hunter as Tagsy is just trying to keep him at bay, keep him away as best as possible, has him the port in order to at least keep the distance, let the dots do a little bit of damage to Leatherface, at least burn through the Flesh Cap shield, going for that gateway. Does he have any more mobility? He might be put in a bad spot. Big old Iron Tagsy trying to hit over the slow train line, interrupted as Leatherface just chunks him out with KJX opening up to Leatherface immediately. The Demon Hunter walking into this with Metamorphosis, blur in 10 seconds, interrupt, but he's not going to need one for the Rogue. And KJX just fully loaded him up with dots as an assassination rogue. Leatherface, without a Flesh Cap for a while, does need to get himself a demon to spawn in. And there it is. Trinket out of KJX too. So the next stun luck by Leatherface could be pretty huge. Better just slay that demon before KJX goes for a next kidney shot wombo combo. Leatherface is definitely going to need some healing. He has a trinket, so maybe that's why he's super confident. He maybe wants to get a kidney shot out of KJX, get low. Might need to trinket this. Trinket slays the demon, eats the soul, but looks like this healing reduction. Big stun to KJX, turning around on him out of nowhere. KJX looks like he found himself super low on health, and Leatherface didn't even eat the demon's soul in that duel. He just kind of had it sitting on the side. G-Funk up next with a full Kirin burst. Leatherface is trying to hope that Darkness is able to keep him alive as best as possible. Grenades are getting thrown in, but G-Funk is going to be able to take him out. This Demon Hunter, dude, he lived through Chrysler and the Kite Fiesta that was. Then he lived through the Affliction Warlock and more kiting that offered. Between Soul Shape, between the ports, between everything. And then he lived through the Rogue. And we know KJX isn't like an undergeared Rogue either. That actually could have been anyone's game, but getting the trinket out and then taking that stun, big damage, literally didn't even use the demon heal. Shinigami's up next with his G-Funk. Looks like G-Funk popping a turtle shell as he dips low. That is going to activate an AoE stun from the Mechanical Soulbind. We are at the 12-minute mark, 46% dampening here, boys. Shinigami looking to live as best as possible. Gonna be G-Funk missing his own Kirin arrow. But it looks like Shinigami's just dead. He actually went for a full disperse, trying to reduce the damage he's taken, but the shackle stacked up a healing reduction, necrotic effect. It basically gave him no chance. Bach is going to be up next. Catching the pendant freezing trap is going to be able to see G-Funk going for the aim shot. I think it's over unless G-Funk has a faint death. Got himself in a steel trap onto a Bach as he got himself rapid fire. Going to be a faint death. Wait, Bach could maybe make something happen. Double tap is available. Got himself the Kirin bow arrow going. Rapid fire. G-Funk can't stop it. Going to be full explosive and everything as Bach takes him out. This is just a burst fiesta at this point. This is where if you got any cooldowns, you're just throwing everything at the wall, seeing what sticks. And Francis over in Team 1 is the last man standing while waiting for him. Bach waiting in the back with a camo is going to be able to at least catch up on his cooldowns. I don't think he necessarily needs... does he really need True Shot Aura in order to make the burst happen? I don't think he necessarily needs it, right? He just needs the Kirin with a double tap and explosive shot. Against Francis, though, that is dispersed, that is going to be greater fade. And if Francis catches him in the stun, Bach got no trinket unless he got a human racial up soon. But he won't have anything out for a while. Francis mounting up. He wants to make sure he has a good angle when catching Bach. He wants to just hit him with a stun. But is that going to be eyes actually were enough? It is going to be the eyes were enough. Bach could go for the opener. Rapid fire decides to go against the aim shot as the Shadow Priest is going to roll in with the fear. Got full void eruption. Bach getting himself a proc. Going to be a feint death for a second, removing the dots. And Francis is going to be hit with a scatter shot for a moment. Bach is going to switch around on the pet. The pet is actually, the Shadow Fiend is actually going to do quite a bit of damage. Yeah, the Shadow Fiend is actually going to do, actually, did he kill it? Did he just kill the Shadow Fiend? I'm not saying anything anymore unless Francis like recalled it or dismissed it, which I don't think Shadowface can do that. Might have just nuked it with aim shots. Bog is just waiting until he can get this next Kyrian setup. That's all he needs. He just to get the Kyrian setup around the corner, land and interrupt onto Francis. Is gonna go for a feint death removal. All the dots will put him in a horror effect. As long as he can get a kick on the shadow cast versus Francis, he actually might be able to win this. It's really gonna come down to Hunter has a double tap ready. Francis is getting some instant casts off. Wants to make sure Greater Fate is up. This bug just pushed in. Rapid fire as the disperse comes out. Is gonna let some of this rapid fire do some damage. Explosive shot ready. Maybe by the time disperse is off, no, is gonna be able to have disperse cover him with the explosive shot. Stun into Bach is a trinket for it. It's gonna be scattered for a second. Trinket for Francis with a shot or death. It was anyone's game at the end there. With Leatherface going in with the 3 kills in a row, having to play against some of the classes that could just go for the most CC chains on him, dude. Some of the, I think only mages can go for even better CC chains, but Warlocks really got quite a bit of CC to them, don't they? Alrighty, boys, let's get up and running. Jesus is ready. We could probably throw Jesus for Century, yeah? Yo, boys, let's open up the groups for newer players. If you guys see any new names, any new faces, snag them whenever you can. Top 2 durable DPS and 1v1. Top 2 durable DPS. Monk. Feral Druid. I would say out of the duels we had so far, those some of the most durable ones. Christ and Jesus played each other. Sentry and Jesus have not played one another, so we'll actually mix them up a little bit. And then Cryzio and Athman potentially could be a thing. If you guys got groups for 5v5 1v1 duels, you guys are more than welcome to join them or a premier group. Custom PvP, find the groups up number 5, enter in the search. And they should be there. Make sure you have all your filters on though, if you guys want to join. Thank you guys so much for coming. Bro, I mean the Shadow Step, the opener? Oh, he might have, yeah, he might have. Oh shit, and tell him to start from the inside? Yeah. Don't rush at them, boys. Don't rush at them a little too early. Wait inside of your own arena before you get the opener, just to make sure that it's all safe. Feral and Enhance? Ferals are pretty tough. Enhance, are they that durable? They might be. Wait, did I queue right people? Oh, wait, I did wrong. Wait, okay, Jesus, reset. Wait, redo. Have your team leave. Meant to queue Sentry. Yeah. Might be. Yeah, might be. Yo, Jesus. Leave the group, leave that queue real quick. I meant to queue versus Sentry. And then you said again, so I did Alt up and it gave me Chrysler instead. Let me know. I struggle to find new people. Well, I appreciate for even looking at Atho. Thank you so much for being here, my guy. I'm gonna do it to your videos. Dalaran content, keep going. What's up, Seti? Hope you're having a good one, my guy. Hope you're having a good one, dude. Appreciate ya. Is this NA? This is EU right now, boys. NA is tomorrow. Come back for some NA 5v5 1v1 duels tomorrow, boys. Tomorrow. All tomorrow. Let me know when ready. That'll be good. Hey, Dalaran, what's up, Blue-Eyed Wanderer? How you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good one, my dude. Welcome. Just boss up on the lines. There we go, boys. Feel free to advertise it. Have you ever had a disc waste in a 5v5 We usually don't let healers in on these duels, because healers are not super balanced for like 1v1s. As nice as that would be. We got Sentry, and we got Jesus. There we go, boys. I wasn't able to join. Sentry, Jesus, make sure you guys are both online in real ID. Make sure nobody is offline in real ID. Otherwise, I don't think it's gonna let me queue it up. But yeah. Yeah, make sure you guys are online in reality, otherwise you can't. All healer 5v1s. Dude, nobody would die until Dampener. Or maybe Holy Priest would kill everybody. I feel like Holy Priest is the one healer that actually has some damage behind it. Okay, let me try this again. Invite spectator match. Sentry and Jesus. Yeah, either I am broken or one of you guys is offline. Let me look. J for Jesus. Wait, there's Jesus. There he is. Sentry. Where's Sentry? Both of them are on. Huh. Am I the one bugged? Yeah, I think I'm bugged. Hold on, let me relog and log back in. Let me relog and log back in. The mod culture and humans have seen Dalaran stream. What's up, Nizzy? Hey, dude, hope you're having a good one, my guy. Yeah, dude. Yeah, they did. Because they just restyle stun and bleed. True. That is very, very true. Yeah, it still says unavailable to queue. Huh. I wonder why. Yo, Central Jesus, it's not letting me queue you guys at all. Because you guys are not part of the same group. One is Alliance, one is Horde. So it won't make a difference, right? It's weird. Sentry Jesus. JESSSUSSS. Yeah, it says DAO Spectator was not able to join the queue. That usually means that something's broken. Maybe I gotta говори по-русски чуть-чуть. Чуть-чуть, черп. Чуть-чуть. Say, pick a bit of Russian. Man, so how do you do this when you don't have, like... Is it 5, 1? I'm trying to figure out how do you manually queue. How do you manually duels again? Like specific arenas. Sec? Okay, it looks like maybe Sentry is doing something at his end. Yeah, I'll give you guys a second. Go. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, now it works. I don't know what happened. I don't know what went different. Maybe somebody was offline for Sentry or something. Tolveron. Oh my god, we're getting Tolveron that early? A hell of an arena, dude. A hell of an arena. Actually kind of nuts. Oh my god. Jesus, okay. Oh, there it is. This arena is maybe way too big for a 5v5 1v1 duel, though. At least in my opinion. It's just a little bit too massive, you know? A little bit too large. It's a little large. Alrighty, boys, let's get another one running. Which no, it's working for fine. Yeah, I don't know, it seems a little big to me. You got us on team 1 together with Ari here on that team. We got Wolf going to be charging out first. On the back of the team, we got ourselves Choke, Sojiro, as well as Chirp. On team 2, we got ourselves Jesus. Looks like Jesus is going to be first up, potentially, as a Frost DK. On his team, we got ourselves Bog the Hunter, Marksman, Leatherface, the Demon Hunter, Orlin, as well as Shinigami as the Shadow Priest. And Jesus starting off with the Grippy Hand versus Wolf, going for the PvP talent where Mortis Winter turns into a stun once it hits the enemy like 4 or 5 times. It stacks up to be a stun. Does go for Strangulate too with a stun right after. So double stun for Jesus. Might be able to make some work of this. IBM gonna use versus the pet stun. That's gonna be Shackles. Trying to see if he can break the Shackles using whatever mobility that has. Going for the chain of ice on the pets. Trying to control the pets as best as possible. Is gonna be able to interrupt the first aid for Wolf. And it's gonna be able to chill with the pets for a moment. At least go for some death strikes in order to be able to catch up on some healing. Jesus going off without a IBF anymore. AMS was used really early versus Wolf, so he's actually down some cooldown. Silence onto Wolf for a second. He's going to try to see if he can grip him down on top of him, but it's going to be a freezing trap to separate the two. Remorseless Winter Stun does go off. It actually doesn't let Wolf get away too far. Chain of Ice onto the Hunter, throwing down the Chakram, and Jesus is going to go for an AMS. I believe that AMS doesn't help with the Death Chakra because that should be all shadow damage. With a full flesh cut up for Jesus, Wolf is going to get a flesh cut up his own. And Jesus does have Pillar of Frost back up. Maybe can use the Pillar of Frost in order to get a lot of damage in versus Wolf's stun onto the Death Knight. Try to see if he might be able to survive this burst. Stun onto Wolf right after with more Obliterates flying in. Trying to make whatever damage burst he can happen. And Wolf actually throwing down freezing trap. Jesus avoiding it. Wolf trying to see if he can kite the Death Knight back into the trap. Can he avoid it? Gonna be a stun onto Wolf. Jesus so far has been able to avoid this thing pretty well, living up to his name quite well. But that's going to be Cobra shots. Turn around. Jesus actually finds it super low. Does he go for the Dark Pact? He does have to go for the Death Pact, I think. Dark Pact, I think, is a Warlock, but I think it's over. Jesus getting sniped out by Wolf. And that's going to be a bit of a reset for the Hunter as Shinigami kind of waddling out of what the hell? Oh my god, sure, just doesn't give any respect for Alliance boys at all. Just zero respect for the Alliance team whatsoever. Shinigami getting attacked by the pets pretty early on. Trying to stay mounted so he might be able to close the gap with Wolf. I think he knows that there's a trap on top of there around the corner. Gonna be Wolf with a trinket with the faint death. Alright, as soon as he sees the big PI coming up for Shinigami. And the Shadow Prince is gonna be able to get some dots on the pets. And I believe with the dots, maybe he can get some resource off those things. I guess if he gets ghosts, he's flying towards the pets. He could get a little bit of sanity for it. Trying to mount up with a PI for a few seconds. Fear onto the pets. It looks like Wolf isn't going to be feared. One of the pets got feared. I don't really know if that's normal. Both of them are undead. I don't really know if they can be feared. Shinigami kind of dropping it low. Wolf just got so much pressure on him. Shinigami could be going in for a big damage defensive here. Potentially a Disperse. Did use Greater Fate earlier. Is going to be able to get the dots on the pets as well. Trying to catch up with the Flesh Scout. Freezing Trap is going to meet him. But Shinigami is actually kind of sort of okay-ish on health. I think used a Battle Master Trinket there to give himself a little bit extra health to bolster his defenses. Big Siphon joins the fight, but Wolf feint does it, and then the pet is completely confused where Shinigami is. Wolf avoiding that Shadow Crash completely. Interrupt the Shinigami in Shadow, and that's going to be a quick Shadow Meld by the Shadow Priest. Lots of shadow spells in there. Mind Games to follow versus Wolf is going to go for Fade. Then Shinigami might have to go for Disperse here. Greater Fate is up. Unless Wolf can get the interrupt. Doesn't have it. Freeze the trap on Shinigami. Keep it up low. Wolf does not really have the big burst, but he does have sustained damage that just amps up and ramps up even more and more and more. Mind Games actually stunned, not interrupted. Shinigami having to go for Disperse as soon as the stun connects. And is at least in melee in order to get that fear onto Wolf as well as all the pets. And is able to catch up on a little bit of healing. Mind Games, Wolf goes in for a feint death really early. Stun onto the Hunter. Mind Games is going to hit him with a Void Torrent. He's still getting hit with the Void Torrent through Turtle Shell. Did use Pet Sack. And if Shinigami can maybe get some dots on the pets as well as the damage onto Wolf, then he's going to be alright. Jesus got baptized? Oh no. Well, if anything, I think Jesus, isn't it like the Last Supper? I think it's more or less he got stabbed in the back by Wolf and the boys, actually. I don't really know. I mean, like if he got baptized, maybe it would have been like, what class would it have been? I think like a Restoration Shaman or a Shaman. No, I guess it would be by a Restoration Shaman, since there's a lot of war spells for them. Greater Fate for Shinigami, try to catch up on heals. And Wolf just got so much pressure. Whenever he can do anything to Shinigami, he might as well just throw him in the freezing trap. Trinkets. Shinigami popping a trinket of his own. Trying to go for a Mind Games onto Wolf. That's going to be Wolf with a feint death. Maybe a little early. Shinigami, I don't think ever completed the Mind Games. Trying to maintain himself as best as he can, dot-wise, health-wise. Void Eruption to follow with a Void Torrent after. Does Wolf have anything for it? Looks like Wolf has himself plenty of self-survivability and healing. Shinigami is at least able to get some damage into Wolf. Has an interrupt if he needs to feint death by Wolf. Shinigami is going to want to have to go for some kind of damage where he needs to cast. He needs to get the juke out, but I don't know if it'll be enough. It looks like Wolf just runs him down with the pets. That is something to worry about. Every time you're playing against a Beastmaster Hunter, the pets are just going to be so much problem. But Wolf might just try to drop it down versus Bach. Feign death for the explosion shot. He's still in the kill shot range. One more arcane shot. Explosion shot still going through either way. I thought you could actually feign death and explosion shot. And Bach was able to take down the Beast Mastery Hunter Menace. Chirp getting hit with an interrupt as Bach sending the pet out. Has himself True Shot Aura. Convoke the Spirits is up. Bach is going to go for a Turtle Shell in order to deal with the damage. That's going to be Chirp trinketing out of. What did he trinket even? Was that a scatter shot? Biting shot onto Chirp. He's going to be able to power shift out of it. Picking up one of the Starbursts. Wants to give Bach a hug with it. As well as a knockup bash into a big old knockup. Doing quite a lot of damage during Incarnation. Bach under lots of pressure right now. Does he have anything else to keep himself alive? Feign death for a moment. Freeze the Trumpeter Chirp as he goes in for Shackle. And Bach continuing the pressure with the aim shots, arcade shots around the corner. Wants to just put as much pressure as he can into the Boomy. Cyclone doesn't connect. It does. The pet trying to get some bites and nibbles at Chirp. He's going to be able to get himself some regrowths. Could Bach turn this around? Does he have the Kyrian Burst? He might be able to, actually. If he has a line to side with that Kyrian Burst, he might be okay. You just need to catch him. Does he get him, though? Looks like Chirp does not want to walk back into the Resonant Arrow. He's just going to pop in a bear from. Try to see if he can survive this. Aim shots are up by Bach. Does he have the kill shots to follow? Arcade shots getting him super close, super low. Bach is just going to charge in. He got him on the ropes. Our aim shot into an kill shot, potentially. Roar? What? There's no way. Oh, the pet gets him, though. Oh, but Sajiro is just looking at you like, oh my god, this is so free. So free. Stone into Bach as he got full cooldowns. I don't think his boy's even going to be able to be given a chance. Bach barely alive. The Blaze Storm just got you. There's no way. Oh my, the executes are done. No, I was going to say, there's no way, dude. There's no way he was going to make it out of there. That was so close. That actually could have been so good. If only Sajiro did not trinket. Oh my god. Something knocked Bach out of camo there at the end. Something knocked him out of camo. I don't know what it is. So if nothing knocked him out of camo, I think he would have been A-okay, actually. Orlane is going to be up next. The Shadow Priest was Sajiro. Is looking just to run over yet another class. Going to be big roar. Horror effects out. Horror bolts up for Orlane. Getting hit with a Storm Bolt. Sajiro is going to drop down a big old banner. Warbreaker for a ton of damage. It could be in the bad execute range. Orlane better have a defensive ready. Going to be Greater Fate. Breaks his own Greater Fate really early. Going to be a parry out for Sajiro. Needs to get Orlane low enough. And it's going to be dispersed. Sajiro just needs to live this long enough and maybe run over Orlane. But the Void Bolt, the Void Elf Racial does put him in an interesting position. At least away from Sajiro. They had to burn a leap. But with a couple executes, that's all he needs. Got himself still banner rolling, damage buffs all up and running. And Leatherface is going to be up next versus the Warrior who's just bailing out of the double leap, rally cry, flesh scout. So Leatherface is just going to have to wait this out. He's just going to, you know, like, I might as well get some resources. I might as well wait this out, get some resources, and I'll be okay. Shattering Throw to see if Sajiro could buzz through the flesh scout. Actually, maybe should have went for that Shattering Throw after the Warbreaker to make it deal the most amount of damage. I don't think the damage will actually hit into Leatherface's health bar too, which actually could be pretty nutty. Sajiro Storm bolting him down. Leatherface not shrinking out of this. He's just letting the Necrolord shielding happen. Letting the slime shield happen. Darkness coming down as it drops low. As Sajiro just runs in with an execute. He just needs one lucky execute to proc. IB was up for Leatherface. Get himself a little bit of leech. Sajiro's kind of low as it is damage, allowing Leatherface to heal a little. Sajiro backing up out of there completely. Does not have a way to heal for the time being. Unless second win. Second win. Catching him back up completely. And Rafael Vega, my man. Yo, can we get a hashtag Rafael Vega, boys? Thank you so much, my guy. Hashtag Rafael Boys. Showing appreciation for one for donation. My man. Thank you so much, my dude. Stone Sajiro with a Storm Bolt by the Warrior. Parry up in case the Demon Hunter got 86 up his sleeve. Tried to go for an imprison. Going to be a Zerker Rage out of Sajiro to break him out of that prison. And Leatherface, I don't think he has much left. He did have to go into a big old I-beam Activated demon form for a second. Flash got full up, so actually, I think he might have been able to catch back up. And that's going to be demon spawning in. I think the demon hunter going to be fine. So Zero looking to cleave him down as best as possible. That is demon hunter getting kind of low in the execute range. Leatherface is going to snap out the demon in order to give himself quite a bit of a heal. Going to be a storm by Zero. Still got plenty of damage. Still continuing to truck as much as possible. Big old Ibion by Leatherface running right through him. With Archie going to be up next. And when Leatherface doesn't even give an opportunity, he has full metamorphosis. He might as well continue the pressure. Full ascendance up for Archie. Big chain harvest. Does Leatherface live this? Stun short onto Archie. Does he have any more CC to follow? Is going to be in prison. Ibion right after. He has himself a little bit more metamorphosis leech. But Archie does hit him down with wind strikes during ascendance. That's essentially his own metamorphosis. That was rough, dude. That was really rough, dude. I was actually hoping the Bach with a freezing trap would somehow just stay in camo the whole time. If he was able to get away, I think he might have had a chance, dude. I think he might have stood a chance. Because then you just have to play around the enemy. But otherwise, it would have been good. Yo, let's get another up and running here, boys. Yeah, another duel up and running. Crisis group is ready. Oh, Jesus. You want to go again? Or Sentry? Maybe we should send Sentry versus Chrysler? I think it's been a bit since Sentry and Chrysler played each other. Yeah, if you guys want to look for some new names, some new faces, open up some groups, man. That'd be wonderful. The more, the merrier, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Is that a EU? 140? I think it is 140. 139, hold on. It is 140. Huge. You can smash Obliterate into keep the Mortal Winter up. Yeah, that's good, but if you play Dead of Winter with Gathering Storm, you can multi-stun also against a Hunter, for example. If you have Mortal Winter, roll into Turtle, you can smash Obliterate into it, keep the Mortal Winter up. Same with dodge abilities. That is true. I guess you technically can. You technically can. Alright, Jesus Christ, are you guys ready? Wait, Sentry, that's what I meant to say. Sentry. Is Atman still with the group? Is Atman still trying to make a group? Also, Sentry, where's Cragger? Where's your boy? Where's the guy? The man, myth, legend. Let's get the boys up and running for another duel. Tiger's Peak. Dude, we're getting into some of the weirdest arenas really early on. We got Toveron, Tiger's Peak. We normally get like every other good arena. And then we get all these towards the tail end of the stream. But I guess we're getting these really early now, huh? There's no way we've been streaming that long. I mean, the first duel was really, really long. I know we haven't done too many on the EU so far. Like, there's no way. There's actually no way. Alrighty, boys. Let's get another one up and running. Switch. Team Kreisbad still waiting for one more. Still waiting for +1. Arheim gonna be on that enhancement with Wolf as more of the Beast Mastery chokes. Looks like he's gonna be first up as a Necro Red Pally. So Drew in the back as well as Chirp on Team Kreisbad. We got ourselves KJX. We got ourselves Kreisbad. We got ourselves KJX. We got ourselves Tagsy. We got ourselves G-Funk as well as Francis. Pope Francis. I like a bear, by the way. It looks like Tagsy is going to be first up as an Affliction Warlock versus Chokes. Paladins do get kited quite a bit. They are pretty known for lack of mobility. So for Tagsy, it's a perfect opportunity to maybe make something happen. Especially since he's playing no pet build. The curse of exhaustion whenever Hand of Freedom is down is going to be massive. Tagsy using the port and gives him quite a bit of mobility with a conduit. Going to be some burst out of Chokes. Does he have the big pop-off damage? Wall for Tagsy with a drain and a fear is going to help him stabilize. Did have to burn a wall so far as well as a Dark Pact. So that is quite a lot of defenses burn versus Chokes. But look at that mobility, dude. Look at the, or rather lack thereof mobility. With Chokes going to be put in a pretty bad spot. Trinket out of the Mortical as soon as he sees it. Tagsy with yet another port. Not using the mobility from that port. Actually, he's using some of it actually to just outrun Chokes. While Hand of Freedom is down, I mean, it's literally free pickings. It's literally like shooting fish in a barrel. Chokes is going to take a bit of damage from the Dark Glare. Has at least someone to generate Holy Power off of. Gonna be Tagsy, looping around the corner with the shackles out to get interrupted and Chokes. Got himself a flush count to keep himself alive. And it's gonna be full health burn, necrotic down. Stun to Tagsy. Chokes is gonna have to bubble this and actually just gonna have to play defensive. Tagsy actually burned every big defensive out of Chokes all at once. And Chokes is at no mana whatsoever. Actually at no mana at all. Tagsy hitting him with some slows, but the hand of fury keeps rolling. Mortical runs in the other direction. I think Tagsy is going to be able to defeat the red paladin. An affliction warlock defeating a red paladin is not something we see often enough at all. Choke sending in the gavel, needs to recuperate. He is down on some defensives. No bubble for a while. That's a big one. No shield of Vengeance for quite a bit. No wings either, so he's kind of in a tight spot. He is going to have to send out a couple of these gavels to stack up the damage on Tagsy, because he really just needs to get himself a good hodge and a bunch of damage all at once. Hand of freedom, but the fear is going to run you as quickly as you can away from Tagsy, which is going to be super, super unfortunate. And Tagsy, as long as he keeps the dots rolling, as long as he gets some procs, he might be able to do this. But red is OP. Josh, 1400 rating. Yo, every class is OP, let's be honest. That's why I try not to say any class is OP except maybe for like Monk, not Brewmaster Burst, Monk, Necrolord Brew Burst. That thing is kind of nuts. Every class in the sense is kind of busted. Let's be honest here. Hand of Freedom for chokes with a Hammer of Justice. He's gonna try to see if he can make the big gavel play here. Gonna be Tagsy, gonna burst it on with wings, but looks like it's not enough to crack through his defense. Trying to go for a fear. Gonna be a potential intro by Chokes, but he missed it. Get a juked on. Kind of low in health. Actually melting down behind the pillar. Not burning a Shield of Vengeance just yet. Could have literally just burned a Shield of Vengeance just to deal with some of the damage over time. As Tagsy get himself full haze buffs, full dots. It looks like he's gonna spike those dots up together with the Darklight as well as Rapid Contagion. He just got the melting dots on Chokes, trying to reinforce it together. Malefic Rapture, big drain. I think Chokes got almost no defenses left. Bubbles not available for a while. Does he just go down here? Another drain, just trying to stay alive as best as he can. Flash of Light just trying to deal with the damage over time. We're not even in dampening yet. If Tagsy only had some dampening on top of all that damage, or maybe even any kind of like healing reduction, that would be huge. Chokes at least able to stabilize, get himself a flesh scabbed, so he'll be a-okay. But yeah, Merz, I feel like, what is it? It was a tweet recently where Zabrix, I think, commented on what I said. He basically said, yeah, every class is gonna get nerfed, but I've heard that maybe some classes do need to get nerfed in order to give other specs in place still some breathing room, because we are really spiking the damage, except for the last few duels. Last few duels have been extra long with you guys' survivability really up on the whole another level. I mean, look at Chokes literally going for Necrolord just to survive. Actually kind of rough. And Chokes just doesn't want to deal with Tagsy at all. He got 30 seconds on Bubble, about 50 seconds on that Trinket, Shield of Vengeance, and Wing sometime soon. Might be able to make something happen, anything. The biggest disadvantage for Tagsy is during his burst, he needs to go through a lot of casts. He needs to basically keep Chokes out in the open and cast a ton into him to be able to get him low. Or even just deal with him in any kind of normal, realistic way. It's actually kind of rough for Affliction Warlocks out there. Like, I really think they need to spike up their dots a little bit in PvP, in my opinion. Fear by Tagsy, loading up Chokes yet again with all the dots. Again, trying to keep as much of a distance as he can. No more Hand of Freedom for Chokes. Tagsy actually pushing in. Wait, does Tagsy want to end the duel here? I think Tagsy just wants to end the duel as best he can, forcing a bubble really early out of Chokes as he got big gavel. Wings is up and running. Tagsy with a dark pack absorbing all this damage. Gonna be a wall for Tagsy. Getting full dots up and running. Looks like he's just gonna go counter aggressive with Chokes, and Chokes trying to go for Shield of Vengeance as well as a blessing, a Belf Racial. Getting interrupted on Shadow on Tagsy. Wait, Chokes did he turn it around? Tagsy with massive mobility, big drain, catching up a health, trinkets out of that hodge, and Chokes in that exchange, trying not to choke up as best as he can. Try not to choke up as best as he can. Tagsy hitting him with a Mortical, fearing him out of the way, and is going to maintain the dot pressure. If he can also Rapid Contagion his dots too, landing that interrupt, and actually Chokes was okay with it because he got a Flesh Scout to follow up. 20% damage reduction with a Flesh Scout. A pretty nutty shield that is getting some nerfs in 915. And Chokes looking to make the biggest damage happen versus Tagsy. Just the biggest blaster damage while he can. Throwing down the gavel, gonna be Tagsy actually swapping around and attacking the slime that Chokes has. Tagsy gonna kind of low though. Drain Life is gonna be able to let him catch up a little bit of health. Especially useful for Election Warlock because you actually can increase the damage of your Drain Life. But I wonder if Tagsy also playing the Drain Life Legendary. Actually, wait, that is a great question. Is Tagsy playing the big Drain Life Legendary? Because he's able to heal quite a bit. full dots on the chokes. He just doesn't want to do it with Taxi at all. That's the biggest advantage of Affliction Warlock. You actually are in a better spot. Just let him come to you. Let him rot over time as we're getting into that dampening. So we'll see. We'll see if you might be able to make this happen. Because last time we tried to get pushes and get some bursts on the chokes, it was a little rough. The cooldowns are going to sync up pretty well. Chokes, bubble, should be able to sync up pretty well. Actually, no, it's not. Which is the cooldowns of Taxi, who actually has some cooldowns coming up very, very soon. Chokes with a Hand of Freedom. Taxi with that mobility after porting out. And that's going to be a big old gate report to follow. Tried to land a fear onto Chokes. Chokes got himself full wings. Wait, big burst out of Necrolord Paladin. Oh my goodness. I'll be honest, I was rooting for the Affliction Warlock. I was rooting for the underdog. I was thinking that guy might be able to make something happen. And Taxi played that as well as he could. Let's be honest, he played that really, really well. I don't know if you can play that better. I think all you can really do is hope that things crit when you got your full burst up. But he played that as well as he could. Choke's gonna get hit with a bunch of fire damage. Chaos Bolt. Gonna be that crystal exploding as he walks away from it. Cataclysm erupting under his feet. Shadow Fear around the corner. This man is gonna be under quite a bit of pressure. A Scribe coming in with full cooldowns. Chokes has bubble in 45 seconds. Looks like he's trying to get... I think he was trying to get interrupted. I think he was just literally just trying to get interrupted on a holy, but Christbad doesn't play the interrupt pet. Plays the Succubus instead. To try to land some kind of CC on the chokes with a constant slow, so the Paladin's Hand of Freedom is going to be super valuable because of the constant Succubus seduction slow. It just keeps on whipping you, slowing you, and the Paladin mobility is one of your biggest disadvantages. As Scribed fears him in the corner. Looking to get some damage in with the Chaos Bolt as well as the stone. Everything exploding all at once. Scribed meeting him on the other end with his Shield of Vengeance up to at least give him some kind of protection as Chokes wants to stay alive just a little bit longer. He got bubbled very, very soon. 30 seconds on the wings. Christbed though sitting out in the open, comfortable with a trinket, with a wall. He got no defenses to worry about. And I actually wonder why Christbed won't play Dark Pact. I would imagine that would be insanely good in PvP. Chaos Bolt around the corner. Chokes every time he gets hit by the Succubus, he's just going to get punished by Christbed without even needing to line aside him. He's going to run away from the Bonds of Fell. The crystal shatters again as he walks away out of that tether. Hand of Freedom to keep Chokes running, and he's going to be able to catch up on Flashlight just a little. Building Holy Power off of the pet. Potentially, maybe he'll going to go for some big setup. He should probably get a fear on the pet though. Because if he can go for a turn evil on the pet, CC it, he won't have to deal with a Succubus seduction whenever he does have some damage rolling. Quick fear into Chokes. And actually, it's again feared. That is setting up a bit of a diminishing return on those fears too. So it's not the worst. Flashlights up for Paladin. As he's just trying to recuperate all his cooldowns. Got himself multiple Galva Succubus CC. Does he trinket it? He does. Try to see if he can make the burst happen versus Christbad. And he is going to go pony up. Going to be a big port for Christbad. Chokes trying to use whatever mobility he has left. Try to jump up to the gate. We're going to be a full soul shave for Christbad. Just trying to avoid the damage out of the Paladin by running away from it. There's no point of popping cooldowns into it. He could wall. He could just, rotate every single defensive, every single utility in order to deal with it. Or he could just run away. Just turn around and run the other direction. Getting Chokes kind of sort of near where Christ wants to be, which is that pillar. So he always has a port to retreat to. Bonds of Fell. Chokes is going to hit with a Chaos Bolt. Big damage. All combo wombo here. The Flesh Count up and running. Chokes with a 20% damage reduction. Eating a Chaos Bolt. Flesh Count absorbing the full chaotic blast. Cataclysm again erupting under his feet. Trying to stay alive as best as he can. Dampening. We're going to be ramping up from here on out. At the 10-minute mark. Hodge under Christbad. As Chokes building up holy power. Get himself a little bit of damage, but not enough. He does need wings in order to really make his burst stand out. Unless he just gets really lucky crits, he's going to have to put all his cooldowns together all in one basket, trying to make this work. And with the constant seduces by the Succubus, it's going to be tougher. Their Chill Divinity is going to lose value as we get into higher dampening. Look at that crystal shattering again with the Bonds of Fell. I mean, it's just rough to deal with. Christbad up in melee, but just to throw in Mortal Coil in his face, load him up full of dots, and then retreat to where he'll be in safety. Chokes needs to create some line of sight. That's going to be a full Chaos Bolt flying at him. Shield Divinity just to eat the damage of the Chaos Bolt and Cataclysm. Succubus CC around the corner, but doesn't complete it. At least it looked like Succubus was trying to CC him. Maybe it did try, but then it's DR'd. Honestly, it could be it. Teleport to fear the pet. Yeah, Paladins definitely need to start using Turn Evil against pets like that. Because look at that Succubus CC. And Christbad making sure he gets a good angle. Good old Chaos Bolt from around the corner. Bonds of Fell. That's going to be Choke just eating so much damage all at once. He keeps dropping super low. But maybe he still has something under his sleeve. He does have wings coming back up. Mortal Coil available for Kreisbed. He's going to send it down. Trinket immediately by Chokes. Going to be a Trinket for Kreisbed. Has the mobility with the gateway if he needs to. Chokes does not have the mobility. No hand of freedom. Just turning the attention onto the pet. Looks like he's going to slay the demon immediately. As soon as he can. Kreisbed is going to have to resummon a new one. Probably with Felddamm. There it goes. Quick summon as Chokes keeps waddling at him with full cooldowns. And that's yet another succubus CC. Kreisbed is just dancing circles around him. Bonzerfell with a Cataclysm on the Chokes. I think the Bonzerfell did it connect. It did connect. Flesh Scuff, no way to interrupt it. 20% damage reduction against that Chaos Bolt and incinerates. That's all the Chokes really has in him. Trying to stay alive as best as possible. Bubble is getting used as a last second measure. I don't really know what this Paladin got up his sleeve anymore. I mean, after going versus the Affliction Warlock, that was a real long duel against Kreisbed. That's another duel. It's just exhausted you of all your cooldowns. Into a succubus CC as soon as you get a Hodge onto Kreisbed. As soon as you go for some kind of a setup, the succubus is there just to separate you two. And a big old Cataclysm is probably going to get him. No, not quite dead, but pretty low. Mortal Coil, continue to CC, not even good. Fear pathing. Chaos Bolt erupts. Chokes it with a rank of ashes just to generate whatever holy power he can, just to give himself whatever survivability possible. Stun around the corner. Kreisbed just needs a few more instants. It is done. Taking him out. 13 minutes into his duel, 49% dampener. So any kind of healing from this duel, that is an advantage. If you guys are not a huge fan of the class and how much they can heal themselves, the healing is going to be gone, essentially. You know what I mean? What's up, Fatty Pillow? How you doing, man? What's up? I want to say take care of you all. Thank you so much for the continued support, Fatty Pillow. Appreciate you, my guy. Hope you're having a good one, my dude. Welcome back, welcome back. Bonzerfell by Kreisbed. As Arhi taking a bit of damage, going to be big. Bonzerfell, damn, onto Arhi. Got himself full wall as well as Ascendus just to get the damage back to Kreisbed. With wind strikes to follow. Dora shadows around the corner, trying to reconnect back up, but Mortal Coil sends him in the opposite direction completely. Trinket out of Arhi, Sunder onto Kreisbed, but Infernal crashes in. This is going to go for a battle match to Trinket just to give himself a lot more health to work with. Kreisbed got the Infernal for that extra raw damage. Arhi going for the stun on all the spells. It's going to be a quick Shadow Fury with a Chaos Bolt sent at Arhi. Going to be just whatever mana you got, whatever Maelstrom you got, trying to go for a Hex versus Kreisbed, but looks like Arhi's just out in the open, eating Chaos Bolts for free. Going to be one around the corner. Arhi gets super low. Kreisbed just needs a few more instant counts to finish him off. I think he's going to have it. Oh my goodness. There it is. What healing is going to be gone? Well, at 57% dampener, the healing is reduced by 57%, so the survivability in a 1v1 has gotten a little bit tougher now that Kreisbed is able to outlast into this duel this long. Go to go for someone Fell Hunter instead. Actually, is that even better versus Chirp? I mean, you can interrupt. I guess, can you succubus CC a Boomkin? Or does Boomy count as a beast, just like a Feral counts, or as a Guardian Druid counts? I think you can still succubus seduce him, technically. Can you not? I'm wrong on that. He's literally just teabagging his own boy. He's just literally teabagging his own boy. I thought he was just trying to be rude to the Alliance last game, but he's just rude to whoever is on the floor, dude. If you're on the floor, you're a beanbag for Chirp. You know what I mean? Kreisbed trying to get a Cataclysm around the corner. Regrowth is up for Chirp, so I guess maybe that Intra Pet will be able to come into value. Because Chirp, I mean, most of his bursts is going to be all insta. Unless he's just trying to deal with the Cataclysm. I mean, Convoke Spirits. Big Convoke, but looks like the Warlock is nowhere nearby. He's going to think about resummoning a freshly pet. Looks like the main pet actually died. Chirp has a lot of pressure to put onto Kreisbed. Going for the Soul Shape. He has himself the star in order to knock Kreisbed up in the air. Trick inside of it, but he's knocked up into the sky. And Chirp picks up another knock up, and that's going to be just juggling Kreisbed out in the air. Gonna be Kreisbed with a bit of that Battle Master Trinket, full Shackles of Malediction onto the Warlock. Felddamm to resummon himself a fresh new pet. And Kreisbed took a lot of pressure here in the opener. Lots of pressure. Chirp trying to see if he might be able to get himself maybe some line of sight versus Kreisbed. Needs to catch back up to him if he can. Star Surge onto Kreisbed as Chirp looking for a Barks to try to live as best it can. But can you though? That is the question. 69% dampener. Nice. 16 minutes into the duel. Chirp is getting himself some regrowth. Kreisbad won't even send the pet out to land an interrupt. He just used himself a little bit of reset. Chirp just had himself a really big opener. And I love how Chirp is utilizing the Starburst to knock enemies up in the air, by the way. I think it's just fantastic play. I'm a big fan of it. Full incarnation, full burst, knocking things up in air. It is amazing. It is not a burst that you expect at all, but together with incarnation, those starbursts are, what is it, astral damage? So they do quite a bit of damage. They end up doing quite a bit of damage together with the incarnation, since both of the eclipses are active. So he kind of double dips. Apparently there's some one-shots you can do with it. I kind of want to try it with a friend of mine. Do some really cheesy stuff. Chirp try to go for a little bit of regrowth around the corner. While Kreisbad is chilling behind the pillar. Waiting now for Chirp best can. Gonna be a port. Chirp just needs to get himself some more pressure and some more dots under Kreisbad. Maybe just waiting for the next convoke. Is he playing minute convoke or is he playing like the 2-minute convoke? I didn't quite catch it. I don't even know what kind of setup is he running either. But Kreisbad keeping some slows on a Chirp. Chirp pushing in with mobility. Is gonna get himself regrowth. No interrupts available. Is the pet still around? Is the pet dead? Oh no, the pet is still alive. Mortal Coil around the corner, but Kreisbad with the fear on the Chirp. Not able to land the fear actually. Was it line of sight? Was it DR'd? Did he just cancel it? Either way, there was a fear cast, but nothing happened. Stunner on the corner with a Cataclysm as Chirp walks out of Bonzafell going for a Convoke, and it's going to be immediately interrupted by Kreisbad. I don't know if Chirp tried to go for a Convoke, maybe to self-heal himself, or maybe just to force a trinket out of Kreisbad, or force an interrupt on Kreisbad. Bash onto Kreis with a trinket to follow Chirp at no health whatsoever. I don't know how this man survives at this point. Going to be a cyclone onto the pet. And Chirp with a Frenzy Regions just to keep himself alive just a little bit longer. Keeping himself alive as best as humanly can. Kreisbad trying to see if he might be able to sneak around, swing around the bend. And Chirp with a quick roar onto that pet. Cyclone right after. Is it going to be enough though? I don't think it's going to be enough. Bark Skin. As the pet is just doing freebie damage. Chirp. Activate Incarnation. He's literally out of all options. He's literally just dead to the dots, dead to the pet. Yep, actually just melted at 82% dampening. You're not getting any kind of healing whatsoever. That was a very slow burner duel. With Druid charging in, so Druid does not want to play a slow burner duel at all. He just wants to end this versus Kreisbad as early as possible. Bonzafell gonna do some free damage. Kreisbad better have himself a good position in order to get away from Druid. Stormbolt out of the Warrior. No way for the Cyclops to break it. Blaze Storm right after. The Druid taking a bit of damage too. Oh wait, we actually gonna be down for the count. Oh my god. Kreisbad just unloaded the full burst of that boy. And Wolf is gonna be up next. With a Cyclops CC as Kreisbad trying to go for a Casbolt, gonna be immediate trinket for Wolf. Interrupt, trying not to die to the Destruction Warlock. Stun to Kreisbad, no trinket available. Shackles on Malediction. I don't know how you make it out of there alive. Big old Infernal, slam it down onto Wolf with a Cataclysm to follow. Wolf with the Feign Death just to try and move some dots off him. And Kreisbad at no health whatsoever. He has all these pets behind him. Fears at least one of them. The second one approaching. He might be able to get some drain life off it. Trying to avoid the pets as best as he can. While he's got it. Maybe try to set up for Mortal Coil. Wolf does not have a trinket, by the way. So Kreisbad could maybe make some work here. He doesn't have a lot of health. Second CC onto Wolf. Chaos Bolt maybe into a Mortal Coil. He's able to send one fast enough. Mortal Coil. Trying to burn him with instant cast. Does he have enough though? Wolf with a Feign Death for a second. Kill shot to Kreisbad. Could be anyone's game. Wolf does get him, but the dots, do they get him though? Do the dots get Wolf? Turtle? He barely survives it. No way. Oh my god, that could have been a 1v5 by Kreisbad just now, dude. Could have been a big old 1v5 by Kreis, but he couldn't quite do it. Oh my goodness, boys. Oh my god. Why? Why? Oh, that could have been so good. 97% dampening in this duel though, boys. 97. That's such a long duel. 20-minute long duel. Gee, fuck with that stun. There's no way Wolf could survive it. Absolutely no way. Just gonna hit it. It's actually funny. Yo, Cryzman is probably beating himself up right now. Like, what? So close. It was right there. If he didn't turtle, he actually would have been dead. If he didn't turtle, 174 HP. My goodness, dude. That was actually so close. Yo, after you go to group, still trying to find more. Last one's very elusive, like a sly fox. Yo, boys, if you guys got Alliance, join group Atherman to get some 5-5 to 1. Let's get Atherman group some play, dude. Atherman barely gets to play. Let's get Ather some Alliance groups. Ather, let me know when you're ready. Yo, Alliance boys, join your boy Ather. Waited for so long. You got it? Full group? Yeah, full group. Who we queuing at you? Is it Jesus? Is it Sentry? 45 minutes of one doo-doo? Yeah, for real, dude. For real, we gotta get you more in here. I choked. Had bonds. You're good. You're good. Do we send Sentry at him? I guess we could send Sentry at you guys. Sentry and you dueled each other, so I guess we could do a bit of a rematch. Yeah, let's do that. Sentry and you as a bit of a rematch. And we'll queue Atho for a bit. Oh my god, role player. Actual role playing. Faralina. Iladari Faralina. Alright. Keep walking. Keep walking here. My god, that was a long duel though, boys. What the hell? EU, you guys usually give me the shortest duels I've ever seen. What's up, Sorry, my man? Hope you're good, my dude. Cryzer insanely OP. He's really nuts. The Cryzer fight Atho, we could totally do that too. We could do that. Where you're from, Cryzer? I think this man was born in literally the pits of hell. Crawled out of there to wreak havoc upon the world. And just to put it all into a grasp of domination. And become the Warlock overlord that we were all meant to serve. At least that's the lord that I would give to Cryzer. He's just that insane. An insane Warlock crawled out of a lab. After drinking way too much Mountain Dew. At least I would imagine that's where all the green, all the fell green stuff is. Alrighty, boys, let's get it up running, yeah? Switch. Got ourselves Team Atha, man. Helen barely got to play, but a Team Atha. We got ourselves Atha, the boy, the myth, the legend, with Gusha in the back as a feral. We got ourselves Kit Kat as a feral, Kiosku as a survival hunter, as well as Kip, gonna be first up versus Wolf. Man, Wolf got to play a lot tonight, hasn't he? Actually, a ton. Gonna be Kib approaching Wolf, trying to get a melee of him. Is gonna go for a fear on all the pets. Actually, he feared one of the pets, but the other did not. I think it was Bestial Wrath gonna play. Kip trying to go for a Void Eruption. Is gonna get CC onto Wolf with a Mind Games to follow. Wolf again, Horde right afterwards. Feign death to clear out the Mind Game stun onto Kip. Trick inside over with the Shackles Malediction onto Wolf. No way for him to break it. Wait, actually could Wolf be going down here? Kip just has it completely necrotic out. No way to heal. Throwing down the Freezing Trap, catching the Shadow Priest in place. And Wolf is at least going to be able to wait out the necrotics before he lands himself an Exhilaration heal. Feign death with a camo, keeping himself alive and healthy. Kib tried to throw down a Shadow Crash, didn't quite connect, just literally had to go for a shot in the dark to find the hunter. And couldn't quite find him. At least not yet. Wolf hitting him with a concussive shot, trying to keep the pressure on, stunned by Kib. Who has the death shock and was just blasting right through him. Shadow Mental Rub is able to catch up on a massive heal. Kib avoiding the freezing trap as best as he can. Wolf feign death a little early. Kib gonna catch up on a bit of healing, get some dots onto Wolf with a Mind Games to follow. Mind Blast right after. Does he have enough damage to continue? Wolf is gonna get himself that slime shield covering, coating his armor to try to help him deal with some of the damage that are going out. With a quick feign death, Kib just trying to turn the attention onto the pets and maybe get some resources off it, as Wolf is catching up on a bit of first aid as best as he can. Dal, fair event there for Druids, Boomy, honestly. You could on play either one, at least for PvE. Either one are good. But it's your 5-5 use a possible join. Oscar's doing some right now, actually. More than welcome to join, my guy. Always welcome. Gonna be the death shock onto Kib, getting stunned up by the pets. Trying to see if he can deal with the damage Kib at about half his health. Actually, he has disperse. Never mind. Kib does also have a legendary for self-heal, so he's able to maintain himself. He's able to use that as a defensive in between all these other defenses. Quick, disperse, try to stay next to Wolf, maybe hit him with a fear. Freezing trap, getting reapplied onto Wolf as he's about to come out of the disperse. And Wolf is still in melee. He's still really close to Kib. He could just power word shield over. Looks like Kib is going to back up instead. Try to get some dots on the Wolf. Feign death really early. Kib potentially could make something happen. He's trying to walk towards Wolf with the mind games. He get interrupted on Shadow. Trying to keep himself alive. Your PI as well as if Perker bases up. Mind games does connect. Trying to make the void eruptions happen. Wolf trick inside of it. He still could get hit by a void eruption. Does not get horrified just yet. Feign deaths as the dots wore off. That's going to be a flesh cup while Turtle Shell is up. Kib with a big old PI. Better put some pressure on those pets. He has the instant cast while Void Form is up, so you could maybe make something happen. Stun onto Wolf while Bestial Wrath is up. Stun back onto Kib instead, though, as Wolf is going to have to see if he can push Kib out of the way as best as possible. Shadowlands are up. Kib is just getting blasted with just so much damage. Does he survive it at all? Shadowlands is up. Wolf trying to see if he can get a setup, and that's going to be an interrupt into a kill shot. Taking him out. And both Paladins are just gonna walking in, holding hands with the effects shards. What are they doing? What are these two goobers doing? It's gotta be one of them, right? Are they having like a race or something? They're just trying to make like a beam happen. What are you two doing? Which one of them is actually dueling? Look, it's like neither one of them. It's actually Kit Kat, but Wolf is so confused. Wolf, if you hear this, you are doing the feral Kit Kat. What's up, King? How you doing, my man? 74 renown. It should be 76 by this week. We're so close to hitting level 80 renown, dude. Blizzard just announced that on 5 already. Have it come out as we hit level 80 round. I'll be happy about it. Kit Kat with a frenzy reach, feral frenzy main quickly onto the hunter. At least try to get some dots in. Wolf is able to deal with the bleeds quite easily, but going with a feign death. So for Kit Kat, he better be just being really careful when he puts up dots. Better wait up until Wolf does go feign death, then load him up full of dots, because Kit Kat went in for big bleeds in the opener, and then Wolf was able to just feint it. Just remove it completely. Reopener by the Kit Kat, trinketing out of it with a shackle benediction onto Wolf. The pet sends the hunter sends the pets to stun. I mean, rather, the hunter's the pet. The pets are the ones that are really the MVP of the whole duel anyway. Shackles onto the feral, taking a bit of damage, but also necrotic out his health completely. Next Friends and Regen is probably not going to give you that much healing unless you can wait it out. It's going to go in bear form. Friends and Regen is up. Is at least able to fight through the damage for a bit before the dampening rolls in. Quick roar on the hunter as well as the pets, disorienting them in place. As Kit Kat swings around the corner, that's going to be a flare down as Kit Kat trying to get some bleeds up onto Wolf. Freezing trap, putting him in place for a moment. And Wolf goes in for Scarab Beast, but that's going to be power shifting out of the feral to keep himself alive and moving. And Wolf got himself Cobra shots flying in, badged by Kit Kat. Looking to maybe end this duel. Wolf is still pretty healthy. Kit Kat is kind of low though. Got himself another frenzied region to keep himself alive for just a little bit longer. With a mark for death. What kind of pets does Wolf use? Actually, that's a good question. I think those are in Nazmir. I would imagine those are in Nazmir. You have to be Beastmaster and you have to have undead pet taming or undead taming to be able to tame them. But they're all both big, massive T-Rexes in Nazmir. And I think they're just going to shrink a little bit. But Nazmir next to the Blood Trolls, I imagine that's where it would go. Kit Kat just tried to stay away from the hunter as best as he can. You got probably some of the best sustained damage from Kit Kat with the bleeds versus some of the better sustained damage versus Wolf with the pets as well as the Cobra shots. So it's really just going to come down to whoever has the better sustain. With Kit Kat having some self-healing and Wolf using the feign death in order to move the bleeds off him, it really is going to come down to whichever one can max out the damage once the defense is popped. Once Kit Kat makes a mistake, can Wolf capitalize on it? Once Wolf goes for feign death, can Kit Kat capitalize on it? Stun onto the Druid. Wolf trying to make some damage happen with Death Chakra. Kit Kat could be in a bad spot. No wall for a bit. Bash onto Wolf. He does have thorns, but it's going to go for a reset. Wolf just used feign death. Could Kit Kat maybe capitalize with a big bleeds on Wolf? Could he go for a big old berserk with Feral Frenzy? It looks like he's going to go for a more of a defensive play for now while the dampening isn't super high. Wants to utilize the healing while he's got it. As Wolf is popping cooldowns, trying to get aggressive versus Kit Kat. Because next feign death is going to remove all these dots. Quick main. Wolf is going to check it out with feign death for a second. Kit Kat is put in a situation where his bleeds are gone. Is going to have to play defensively. Bear form is up. Maybe Feral Frenzy. Doesn't even have Feral Frenzy. Looks like he's actually in a really bad spot. Actually, no health whatsoever. Catches him with feign death. The flare does not get him out. No bleeds in Kit Kat. At least is able to get a reset. At least for a time being. You get the pets in the other side dungeon? I don't think these pets are in the other side dungeon, but I could be wrong. I know there's raptors, like undead raptors, but I don't think there's these kind of raptors. Oh, there's some more T-Rexes. The other guys are more raptors. As Kit Kat is waiting out with a full flesh cut, at least able to catch back up versus Wolf. Catching up a little bit on self-healing, a little bit on absorb. Wolf setting out with a freezing trap flare. At least an opener by Kit Kat. Going to be a pet sack immediately. Wolf removing those dots as soon as he can. Trinket out of Kit Kat on that stun as Jet Chakram is attacking him. Wolf this way wants to commit a lot of damage to see if he can puncture through the Flesh Scarf shield if he's at all able to. Got himself Bestial Wrath ready to go damage. Kit Kat popping off Barkskin in order to maybe live this long enough. Shackles for Shackles with both of them. Quick maiming to Wolf is going to break the Shackles for both of the competitors. And Kit Kat is just trying to set the bleeds in and then go for a reset. Just some more kite, hit and run strat. Trying to see if he can maybe live it out as best as possible. Has a wall back up, no trigger for a while. If Wolf can maybe lock him down and stun, this could be an opportunity for the Hunter to maybe end it. But so far the Feral's self-survivability has been enough to preserve him for this duels. Main by Kit Kat, looking to get some bleeds on the Wolf. Is going to help Friendless Frenzy helping him out. Wolf is going to go feign death with a turtle right after. Flesh cut was up just to catch up, and for Kit Kat, that is a pretty big cooldown out for Wolf. No more turtle. He is still kind of behind on health. It is going to be a flash cut back out for Wolf, so he's got a little bit of survivability there. And he's going to go for first aid in order to catch up on health. Kit Kat hit him with a Moonfire. And Kit Kat just needs to wait out until he goes for feign death and then pounce. I think that's honestly his best plan right now is wait and pounce. Stun onto the Feral Druid. Is going to go for a roar onto Wolf. As the Hunter has Flesh Scarf still on. Kit Kat trying to see if he can back up. Barkskin is up. Bash onto Wolf. Trinkets out of it. So that's a pretty big defensive too. And I don't know if Wolf did go for feign death. Kit Kat under a ton of pressure. With a wall up and running. The kill shots are still burning through. Cobra shots are still doing work. The pet kill command around the corner. How do you kill command around the corner like that? That seems like a little bit cheesy. Kioski is going to get a flate shot on one of the pets just to make sure that Wolf cannot remove it. The flate shot is going to stay with the pets. It is going to keep Wolf out in the open. Try to go for a scare beast if possible. Kioski is going to be able to get kill shots. Since the flate shot is on the pet, cannot remove it. It's still whoever you target. With kill shot, that's still going to have the damage amp. Wolf getting loaded up, grenades, dots and everything. Fade death to remove it all. Shackles by Kiosku, looking to end the duel right there. Does he have the kill shot? Kiosku just decided to go aggressive, just take a little bit of damage. But at least keep himself rolling. He's going to put the pet on standby in case anybody in Team 1 is going to be running at him. Is it going to be Archeum? Potential chokes. Atherman hanging out with the boys. Sajiro got himself flash scoffed up and running. 10 minutes of the duel, 32% dampening. And that is going to be a flayed shot onto Archie, sending out the Earth Elemental really early on. Kiosk is a survival hunter, hoping to maybe make that Venthier burst happen here. That is going to be a totem. Getting taken down pretty quickly with a freezing trap. Archie, unable to land the stun totem, is going to go for a trinket to make sure Kiosk does not get any kind of healing. Turtle Shell might need to come out for Kiosk really early. Fake death for a second. Just exchange of dots with Archie, but it's going to be full ascendance. This is where you burn a turtle. And Kiosk is just going to use Dora Shadows just to get as far away as he can, get himself as much first aid as possible before he can get himself any kind of what is it? Feign death in a camo. Looks like the pet is still going to be able to take a little bit of damage and a bit of aggro. Many betters trying to catch up on some healing, but 37% dampening. Kiosk is in a bad situation right now. Frost shocks are going to slow him down. Stun into Archean to wait for the Shaman to trinket out of it. While the Earth Elemental is in play, for Archean this is going to be a pretty big advantage. Kiosk just trying to see if he can live this. I don't know if he's got it. Flate shot on Archean, getting the big kill shots in. That's also going to be Eagles flying in. Many better just trying to catch up on what health he's got, but I think the Hunter's really out of options. I think just somehow just turn around big damage. That's going to be a freezing trap. Kiosk with a feign death for a moment. Does he have feign? He does not. Just gonna go for flate shot onto Archean. Try to go with a kill shot maybe, but that wasn't enough. Gusha gonna be up next over in team 2. And I forget that Atherman is also part of that team. Big convoke onto Archean. Being an orc, he doesn't sit that stun long at all though. Is gonna activate wall towards the tail end of that convoke. Get himself some healing surges either way as he gets interrupted on Shadow. Try to Dora shadows out of there. Gusha did pop Barkskin. Better stay as aggressive as you can because Arhi is going to catch up on heal. And 43% dampening on the opener by Gusha. Just got Arhi so close, so low. Arhi trying to catch up on Maelstrom. Continue to get some heals off without being maxed out on Maelstrom. Reduces some of the value the heals can do. He got no mana whatsoever. I think it's a shoe-in for Gusha unless Arhi ends up coming out on top somehow. Ghosts are up, so Maelstrom is not an issue. Man is the only issue. He's going to have to maybe get counter-aggressive. He got Maelstrom to maybe do damage to Gusha. He can't constantly heal himself. He might just have to get aggressive. That's going to be the totem coming down with electric fence, trying to keep the feral at bay. Ursul's by the feral. Archie and the ghost will trying to get whatever heal he can to Ghost, but he is down for the coward. The bleeds do end up taking him out. With the Jiro Stormbolt as he leaps around the corner, just looking to end Gusha without really having to commit too many cooldowns. That's going to be reflect on that Cyclone. And I think he's just waiting for an execute as soon as the clone is over. Does he? Quick roots by Gusha. Oh no, Gusha does at least get away. So Jiro leaping in towards the feral, doesn't quite get him. Gonna be an open by feral with Kamo because Jiro trick inside of it. I think he has the executes available for Gusha. It's over for the feral druid. Yep, even as he got a root, even as he walked away, there is a little bit of range on that execute. Anathema enjoying the fight versus Jiro, giving him a bit of a slow walk, or maybe it was that Athena with a hand of hindrance slowing him down. But Sajir is definitely going to have himself a hell of a game versus Athman. Fear onto Athman as the adaptation breaks him out. Athman charging in on his horse. On his trusty seat. Sajir just trying to avoid Athos best he can. Hodge, no trigger for it. Does Athos have the damage he needs? Trying to make the final verdict happen here. I don't know if final verdict can be parried. Can it? Gonna be an execute by Sajiro as he gets short charge towards Athos. Blind by the Paladin. It looks like Athos just trying to make the most holy damage happen here. Looks like he's gonna be able to. The hammers go flying. And there's nothing Sajiro could do against the bleed. I mean, against the blind. Actually, nothing you could do. And Athaman versus Chug is going to have to go for a bit of a gentleman's bout between the two paladins. Vente versus Necrolord, the two uncommon covenants for the PvP side of the game. I guess Nightfay, I guess non-Kyrian covenants. I guess that's probably I guess I should just call them as non-Kyrian because all three covenants that are non-Kyrian are uncommon for paladins in general. Yo, Ahi, thanks for joining the duels, by the way, my guy. And Athaman just gets blasted by chokes. Big unfortunate. Big unfortunate. Wolf had himself a hell of a long game with that feral druid just hunting the boy down. But it did end up taking him out in the end. It did do it. Alrighty, Atho. We got you versus Cryzen, my guy. You ready? Did you get you guys immediately against one another, yeah? Yo, Atho, just let me know when you're ready. Jesus, you're ready too? We can maybe get Jesus in here for another duel. 140. 143. Let's go. All right, Atha sounds good, my guy. Let me just switch you guys around. We'll get Atha, man. Wait, so Jesus and Atha have a different group? Yo, let's get Jesus versus Atha after this. Yo, Cryzer, I mean, Jesus, if you could keep your group around for the next duel, we could throw you versus Atha. How did that sound, my guy? Alliance versus Alliance, not something we see often. We'll just go Cryzer versus Atha real quickly, and then we'll throw Jesus group against Atha. So we can get all the boys up and running. Yo, Don, if you need to switch the stream to a higher resolution, you might just have to fiddle with these settings. But the settings should be for set up for 1080p 60 FPS. But you might have to click the cog wheel and adjust it yourself. Yeah. У нас уже 2 часа ночи. Большое спасибо, что пришел на дуэль, Архи. Thank you, Archie, for joining us in duel. You have yourself a good rest, my guy. You here? Alrighty, switch. Team 2, we got ourselves Chrysbad, we got ourselves Pope Francis, G-Funk, as well as Kajix in the back, and Christina! Joining the duels as a pharaoh. What covenant are we nowadays? Necrolord? Nightfay? Maybe someone weird, like Kyrian? Athaman on the team 2, we got ourselves also Gusha, the feral druid, KitKat, another feral with Kioski, the survival hunter, as well as Kib. In the back, it looks like KitKat is going to be first up. Who was ascending first on team 2, however? Looks like it is G-Funk. It is the ultimate duel between the hunter and the hunter's pet. G-Funk used to be Beastmaster until KitKat decided, you know what? I'm gonna go my own way, dude. I'm gonna be my own cat. I ain't running alone. I am preferring solo life. Kit Kat eating a bunch of damage from the Curie, but actually trying to make some damage happen back to G-Fuck. Trinkets out of the pet stun, going for Shackles addiction. G-Fuck is gonna have to find a way to stop it. It's gonna have his own stun activated when he is low, which does break the shackle. Big acceleration. You'd catch up on health, but a quick root by Kit Kat is gonna keep G-Funk behind. G-Funk pulling the pet back for a second, but he's gonna set it back in, setting traps around for Kit Kat to run over as Kit Kat tries to kite. He's able to break through the flesh cuff. No wall by Kit Kat just yet. Try to go for a few into Kit Kat. Maybe force him to shift out of form. Wall is up for Kit Kat right now. G-Funk might need to turtle this. That's a lot of pressure by the Feral Druid. Kit Kat got big bleeds available. G-Funk needs to remove these bleeds with a manic bandage unless he's not running it. Kit Kat closing in the jaws of light, taking down the hunter with Pope Francis. Up next, as the Shadow Priest, Shadow Crash around the corner as Kit Kat trying to avoid him. I think the Shadow Crash might keep him in combat just for a little longer. As long as you keep him in combat best you can, then you'll be fine. Mounting up, trying to keep the Feral out of stealth, but the Feral does dip into stealth either way. That name G-Funk reminds me of a song. I'm pretty sure any funky song would remind you when you think of the name G-Funk. G-Funk, step to this, I dare you, Warren G. Is it really? Oh, okay. Maybe that's where you got the name from. Big leap by the Feral, just flying in like a cat after a bird. France is at least able to get the dots out of Void Eruption. Does not have the Void Eruption that whore you down. Is going to send the Siphon at Kit Kat with the PI. Flesh cut up for Kit Kat as France is looking to get himself some line inside of Kit Kat. Is going to have to stop and get some healing. I do wonder what kind of a legendary Francis is running, because he's not going for like a big heal Lego. He's not playing the pet Lego as a Necrolord. Actually, he's Venthyr. So I wonder what kind of Lego he is playing. Unless he is the Shadowman's Lego, which I don't think I've seen him get like a big burst of healing from that ever. But I could be wrong. Maybe he does go for that. Maybe he does play it, because he is an experienced priest. Stunned by Kit Kat. Francis looking to see if I'm able to live the stun versus Kit Kat is going to be trinket by the Feral. Getting a shadow interrupt to Francis could potentially be dispersed. Trying to go for a greater fate. Maybe catch a heal. Cyclone by Kit Kat silences the Feral on the spot. Francis under a ton of pressure. Might still need to use disperse even though he's away from the cat. The next bite could be the end of it. Is going to go for a disperse. Kit Kat trying to go for Cyclone. Is able to land it. That's a healing denial for Francis. And if Kit Kat can land a re-stealth, he does land it. I don't know if Francis got anything left. He has a trinket, but what is he going to do with it? Shadow Man's with the Water Eruption. Does he have any bursts? Does he have any pressure for Kit Kat? Is going to get the full dots. Void Bolts should do a bit of work. Francis is super low on health though. Well, he has the trinket. And a big old bite by Kit Kat does eliminate the Shadow Priest. I really do wonder what kind of... Maybe he's playing... maybe he's playing the normal Shadow Priest Lego that they played before any of the Necrolord shenanigans or any of the Self-Heal shenanigans. Maybe he's playing Sifus? Is that what it is? Because a lot of priests played Sifus. Kit Kat getting hit with an interrupt behind the corner as Kreisbad is trying to find an angle. I guess Feral Druids, it is very good to play the Fell Hunter because the Succubus can't really CC the Feral Druids. If they can count from a bear form, you can't use Succubus Seduction to crowd control them. But it can put a slow, but there are Druids so they can power shift that slow. But it can be still pretty annoying. But the Fell Hunter can at least remove the hots and land an interrupt if they're trying to go flesh cut behind the pillar or a cast behind the pillar. Gonna be a second stun into Kit Kat off the Infernal. Kreisbad meets him head on with a fear right after. Full burst with a Casbolt 1. Quick roar by Kit Kat. Kreisbad does not see that roar long at all. Try to get this instance into Kit Kat, but the Feral is gonna be able to separate for a second. Quick maim. Trinket out of Kreisbad. Interrupt on a flesh cut, so Kit Kat loses massive utility there. Might want to wall this. A bunch of Instacasts flying from Kreisbad. Not going for a Casbolt, not going for a Cataclysm just yet. Canceling it. Just to make sure he doesn't put that good ability on cooldown just yet. Kit Kat is super low health. Try to go for regrowth. It looks like before dampening rolls in, he is able to get a little bit of healing. Quick bear hug for Kreisbad with a bash. Cycling on to Kreisbad. Kit Kat might go for a heal, but that's going to be an interrupt by the pet. Kreisbad is going to be able to get out of CC. If you could just connect with Kit Kat, hit him with a Mortal Coil, whatever instance you got. Setting up a gateway in case he wants to port. He is going to port using the mobility for port. Mortal Coil into Kit Kat has a trinket for it. Doesn't want to give Kreisbad the line of sight at all. The pet interrupt does not come back and Kit Kat is able to recover quite a bit as Kreisbad pulls back completely. It looks like Kit Kat is going to catch a reset. Kreisbad kind of needs himself out in the open so Kit Kat has no line of sight to play around with. Quick stun by the Feral. Kreisbet trying to land a fear, but that's just going to be bleeds. At least there is a slime for Kreisbet to drain life off, but he doesn't have that much health. So the bleeds are going to ramp up. And actually, KitKat, I wonder if you can go for a hit and run strat. KitKat, you got over the Cataclysm around the corner. My goodness. I think that's why Kreisbet is playing the, instead of a dark pack, I think that's why he's playing demon armor, demon skin. So then all his damage can at least heal him over time, especially against his dots with ferals. Because if he goes in for some dots, Kreisbet, as long as he gets some kind of down on a KitKat, let him do some damage, he's going to recover a little bit of health. KitKat trying to go for a cyclone on the pet. Kreisbet just catching up on whatever healing he can. KitKat, I don't know if he has enough of that hit and run mechanics in him. Mortal Coil into a fear, but the line of sight is just too perfect for the Feral. Oh my goodness, that Casmo did go through, but if only KitKat just walked a little bit forward, that would have been a bad opener for Kreisbad. The Felt Hunter has the interrupt back up, going to be full dots onto Kreisbad. KitKat looking for more line of sight, not going to get him with the fear. Kreisbad trying to go drain life off of that slime. It is getting him some healing, but the bleeds do set back in. Flash cut up for KitKat. He is ready to go back up in action. Kreisbad is going to burn the Warlock Hellstone. Maybe with the Battlemaster trick. It should maybe done together with that. Trying to Shadow Fury as a Feral is trying to use mobility to escape the cast. Kreisbad with mobility, another maim. Is that full bleeds? I think the Feral tried to get some bleeds on Kreisbad. That is a trinket out of the Warlock, so he's going to be a little behind on that. Has a wall if he needs to. And reflect, but I don't really know if he's going to reflect against KitKat. I guess the rest of the team, Athaman, Kib, Kiaska, Gusha, he does have some things he could reflect. But I don't know if that's going to help him out with the Feral in the moment. Full stun to Kreisbad, full bleed up. Just going to let him bleed out for a little bit. No swarm this time around. Just letting the dots just be by themselves. So getting interrupted by the pet. More to get it said. As Gusha, as KitKat try to go for a Shackles. Could go for Shackles around the corner into Kreisbad. Is going to send the swarm at him. Could go for Shackles and then line aside it, potentially. Because I don't think Kreisbad has the mobility. Actually, he does some mobility to break it. Quick maim. I think it's just going to get bled out unless Kreisbad has some kind of healing. Trying to go for big burst. And it's going to be walled with an Infernal. Trying to see if he can get counter aggressive with KitKat. But KitKat is just banking on the bleeds. Doing majority of the work. That Infernal is supplemented towards the demon skin though. The heal as well as the tiny absorb that provides is keeping him alive just a little bit longer. Soul Rot, full dots on the KitKat. Could be really bad. And Kreisbad going for a stun. Second bolt right after. Frenzied Region for KitKat is going to drop him super low. And Kreisbad is going to be able to survive the bleeds. Gateway to get up close to KitKat with a quick roar by the Druid. He got the instant cast. He's got the damage. He just wants to end this Druid and end his 1v4, however many 1v5, whatever he's trying to go for his run. Maim as a Mortal Coil connects. KitKat is just going to back up out of it. Drain life onto the Feral. Could be an interrupt by the pet. He has an interrupt if he needs to. And it's actually better for KitKat if he does have a Fleshcraft to get interrupted on nature. Cyclone onto the pet. Bear form. Fleshcraft. I don't even know if he used Battle Master Trick or not. Kreisbad is at least trying to see if he can bust that shield. At least keep it KitKat in combat. And a quick port is up. He knows there's going to be some CC out of the Feral. Maim, full dots up and running. Maybe on a swarm, he is going to go for the full swarm. Big bite into Kreisbad. Kreisbad literally just bails. He literally just rage quit, leaves. Cannot blame him. Actually can't blame him. After committing so many cooldowns into KitKat and then just watching yourself get bled out by him, that's rough. That's actually really rough. And KJ is going to be up next, and Necrolord, Fleshcraft, and Assassin. Trying to see if he can Fedonize KitKat out. And it's going to be the Feral leaping on him, but the Feral does lose the element of surprise. The opener with a Prowl, and a Rake opener doesn't really quite make it. Did he just try to go for a bash into KJX? Did KJX just evasion a bash? Or was that not a bash? That might have not been a bash then. I'm thinking that might have not been a bash. Affliction would have melted that cat? I imagine actually, yeah, it might have been like a dot game. Affliction, I think, would have maybe won. It is a tough one though. Maim onto KJX, gonna be full dots. KJX trinkets out of it, and KitKat is just gonna root him and walk away. Got rode by KJX, trying to stay on Bez on top of KitKat. Barkskin, as a Frenzied Region is up. KJX trying to see if he can burn a full Vendetta into the Feral Druid. Can he do it? With the Fleshcraft next, KitKat could go for a Skull Bash. Does not go for a Skull Bash at all. KJX with an evasion. Shackles with addiction onto KitKat. Bash, there it is. It wasn't Bash then. Wasn't a bash earlier, as KitKat at least puts KJX in the Cyclone, trying to heal. Not a lot of healing is available at 30% dampening, especially if he has the poisons on him still. At least getting some bleeds on the KJX, at least putting some calm points on him. Kidney shot by the Feral, by the Rogue into a trinket by the Feral. It looks like he just explodes in just a poison. Just literally explodes in a poison bomb. Kib is going to be up next as a Shadow Priest versus Kajix. We are at 32% damper. This is going to be quite a tough duel unless Kajix just gets himself mad damage and can utilize his cooldowns perfectly. It's going to be really rough against the rest of that team. We got Kioski, we got Kib, we got Gusha, we got Athom. There's quite a lot of classes for him to deal with. As Kib is trying to get himself the line of sight, that angle versus Kajix as best he can, if he is at all able to. 35% dampener, so the healing is reduced, and the rogue does catch himself a reset for real duel versus Kib. As he's hanging out kind of out in the open, away from any of the pillars. Kajix hesitating to just open on him immediately, because he knows like exactly where he's at. This is exactly where Kib wants to be, as far away from all the pillars as it can be. There is a set of boards, there is a set of pillars in the back there, but this position is kind of like the perfect position to be in. And Kib kind of near the eye, so you can pick it up anytime he wants to if Kajix does choose to go for a Vanish Reset. Garrote opener onto the Shadow Priest, and that's going to be a quick fear onto Kajix as Kib getting the dots, full PI, stun onto the rogue with a Mind Games and maybe Void Eruptions. Does that connect? Kajix just avoids him completely, just running away from it. But Kib still has Void Bolts available, still plenty of damage. Shadow Crusher on the corner, that is still quite a lot of damage to Kajix. Does have himself sipping up Dora Shadows as he's trying to get a melee. And as long as he keeps hitting him with Void Bolts, he's okay. Flashcraft is up, but Kib, he's not even going to go for a silence. Actually, Kib didn't. Did he have a silence? It looked like he didn't. It looked like Kib did not have a silence already. I don't know what he used silence on, but that Flashcraft did go fully through. Kajix gets stuff. A slice of dice. Shadow crashes with the Shadow Fiend. Is just still putting in a lot of work. But Kajix is kind of okay though. Kib kind of low on health. If he gets interrupted on Shadow, it could be really bad for him. Kajix with advantage. Garrote trying to get aggressive. Got himself more spikes. Next kidney shot into Kib could be really bad for Kib. Blind onto the Shadow Priest. He doesn't have anything left. Kajix, does he have enough to end this? Does he though? Sap onto Kib with the Garrote. Going to be a quick fear by the Shadow Priest. With the Shackles of Malediction, Kajix has a clicker shot. His forward kidney shot. I think Kib is over. I think Kib is out of options. As Kajix does go for a Muck for Death and Venom. And Kiosku is going to be up next. Kajix just leaves. Kajix just bails out. I guess he knew he was completely out of options. Completely out of options. Completely out of cooldowns. So I guess Christina's at least going to be able to get a chance to play. As Christina is going to be up next. What kind of chair do I have? It is a Secret Labs. I don't know what kind actually. I just know it's a Secret Labs chair. I don't know what kind it is though. I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly, but it's a Secret Labs. It's really comfy. It's really, really good. I like it a lot. Christina chilling all the way on the opposite side of the arena. Kiosco waiting out in camo next to the eye. Could pick it up in case he wants to find Christina. Just letting the flare maybe potentially get Christina out in the open. Is it comfortable? Very. Very. Quick eye pick up by Kiosco. Try to see if we can chase after Christina. Got the dots up and running. Flate shot rolling in. Badged by Christina. And Kiosco might be able to make some work out of this. Yeah, potentially. Some kind of damage. Going for that Chimeric to get some pressure to Christina with a poison. Strike it out of Christina off of the pet stun. Kiosk is fully loaded up with dots. Could be in a bad situation. Gonna be Shackles Maledictions. Kiosk trying to stay aggressive versus Christina. Short main by the Feral Druid just to break the chain. Freezing trap onto Christina. And Kiosk with a first aid. Looks like he got no dots on him, so he's actually okay. 55% dampening. Not gonna let him heal for a lot. Flate shot, and that's gonna be Christina catching a reset. Even though Flate shot connects either way. As Christina gets super low, kill shots coming through. Fleshcraft interrupted with a muzzle, and Christina trying to go for bites, and Kiosco does end up taking him out. Actually, so rough. Yo, Kit Kat had himself quite a long game, huh? Big, just bleeding out everybody over time. These Feral playstyle? Yo, for real. Does the Feral Kite bleed playstyle? We've seen a little bit of that. We've seen a little bit of Feral Burst here and there. See that variety. I do agree with you though. I used to love. I really think like Ferals. I feel like baseline need to be more about bleeds. Atho, you ready? If you still have a group, it could hear versus Jesus, and that'll probably be the last one for the evening. As Kreiser just got to play Sentry is Outski for the night. Q against Jesus now. Yep, I can do it. If you're ready, just let me know. We'll be good to go. As soon as you let me know, we'll be good to go, my dude. Let me save that real quick though. I'm gonna guess you're still ready, right? Let me just queue you. Let me just queue you to see what happens. There, Robodrome, dude. We don't see that arena that often. Did we really cycle through every single arena? No, we missed some arenas, did we not? We 100% missed. Wait, did we have Blackrock Hold? We did have Blackrock Hold. We didn't have the Grand, did we? Somehow, I guess when I logged out, it recycled our arenas, and we just did not get the Grand whatsoever. I wonder if there's something you could do with signing out, signing in to get more randomized arenas for the duels. Because we did have Ruins of Lordaeron for a second, but then we had to unqueue out of that one. We never had Nagran. I would have loved to play Nagran. Alright, switch. We got ourselves Team 1 together with Bach as a marksmanship hunter, Rocket the classic set, Illuminati as a night elf, I want to say. Is it a night elf? It's hard to tell. That's all the ears. The ears, I think, give it away. Jesus is a Frost DK. We got ourselves Leatherface as a Demon Hunter, and Orland as another Shadow Priest. 2 shadows on that team. Team 1 together with Atha. We got Gush as a Feral. We got KitKat as a Feral. Kiaska as a Survival Hunter. And Kib as well. Boys, don't stay on the stairs. You're just gonna die. Yo, Kiaska, KitKat, don't stay on the stairs. It's just gonna zap you. See that thing that's, that lightning bolty thing? Yeah, that's gonna start zapping you if you guys don't get down. Yeah, just stay down here with everybody else, Gusha. Otherwise, the thing is eventually just gonna one-shot you if you keep on it. Atha going to be first up for Team 1 versus Bach. Sending a big Kyrian Burst. I don't know if he hit Atha. Looks like he hit him with that Kyrian Burst. Shield of Vengeance up for Atha. As he's trying to door shot is going to be quick. Interrupt. Explosive shot. Big aim shots flying through for Bach. Has that max range onto Atha. But looks like Atha is going to be able to get away without having to use a bubble just yet. Popped every cooldown. He popped himself eye for an eye for physical damage reduction. Shield of Vengeance for that shield. Maybe he can catch up to Bach, who's going to have to go for very long-term kiting plays. Quick scatter onto Atha, as well as a slow. Rapid fire flying as he got himself true shot arm. Maybe he can go for big damage. Knockback onto Atha. Could potentially be a bubble here. Another explosive shot. Atha better not go for a flash of light. Has the pet at least to generate holy power off of Word of Glory. Got himself Seraphim. Maybe he's sending up some damage. He is swapping attention towards the pet. At least generate holy power off the pet. Bach trying to go for an interrupt. Does land the interrupt on the Door of Shadows. And Atha is going to be able to at least get himself some flash of light as aim shots flying from Bach. Every time he catches up on health, that aim shot just puts him back down. Kill shot. And that's going to be a bubble out of Atha. Trying to get a slow into Bach. Turtle shows up as the Ashen Hollow goes down. So Bach at least wants to get himself a bit of a reset. Freezing shot onto Athaman, but that's going to be adaptation. Got himself the big Kieran Burst. Explosive shot to follow. That's going to be scattered with a rapid fire right after. Atha taking a bunch of damage. Kill shot to follow him. Bach taking him out. Dropping down Flare immediately, but KitKat is going to be on his tail as soon as he sees him knocked back towards KitKat. Bach is going to have to use those feint deaths very, very careful. That's going to be full Shackles. Bach having to go for a heal as Shackles just continuing to just drain him down. Got himself the sippy cup. Is that enough though? He is enough. Barely though. Barely. He needs to get himself a camo. Got himself a camo. Wait, does the pet dies? Wait, it's perfect. KitKat trying to see if he can find him. Does he get a hunter's mark on him? I think he realized that he needs to get a hunter's mark on the KitKat. But the cat picked up the eye. So Bach at least is able to catch up on health. Hell of a duel versus Atha. It really came down to cooldowns, and Bach did have to burn a turtle just to make sure he takes down Atha, but that puts him at a really big disadvantage versus a KitKat. Though Bach without a pet now does have he does have a stacking buff with a lone wolf, so he's going to do more damage over time, like 10% more. So his burst could be pretty decent. Trying to go for a pet revive though. And KitKat losing out the eye, does not pick up the next one, and that is going to be a pet joining the fight. Let's keep it KitKat in combat, trying to go for a cycle on the pet. Might still be able to get himself a reset. Flare on the other side. Bach, if he finds a good angle on KitKat, he could send in a full set of dots, set of damage. It looks like KitKat catches a reset. He knows that the pet is out there next to Bach. KitKat does know that the pet is somewhere near Bach. So he could run in and maybe thrash up in the open. Bach getting caught in the stun. Pet sack up immediately as KitKat just bails up out of there. Did he even burn a lot of cooldowns? He did burn, I think, a Feral Frenzy. Big interrupt onto KitKat with a double tap ready to go. KitKat charging in. Explosive shot. Burning through the Flashcraft shield. Scattered shot onto the Feral. And that's going to be True Shot Aura. KitKat popping off a wall. Bach does not have Turtle Shell for a while. Thorns as well as up. Biting shot into KitKat with rapid fire for Bach. Trying to keep the damage rolling. Getting the big procs. KitKat no more defenses. Kill shot away. Could be really bad for either one of them. Both of them are super low. Knocked back onto the Feral. Aimed arcane shots are coming through. KitKat is so low on health and does almost go down. But the bleeds catch up with the hunter. Oh my god, that was so close. Illuminati trying to see if he might be able to randomly door on top of the Feral. Doesn't quite get him. Might have to pick up the eye. KitKat is back there catching up on as much healing as he can. That is actually rough. Are you able to post links on YouTube? No, King Chaos. Unable to. Unless you're a mod. Only mods are able to post links on YouTube. It's not even like a rule that I set. It's not a setting I can really change. This is kind of like YouTube chat as it is. KitKat though looking for a bit of a reset himself versus Illuminati. Man, that Hunter, dude, that was so close. Literally, if one ability from KitKat didn't crit, if one ability just didn't hit nearly as hard with the variance, it actually would have been over. It actually would have been dead. It is actually clutch. Am I post on Discord? Yeah, more than welcome to him. More than welcome to post on the disc. Stone onto Illuminati as full dots are up, and KitKat is going to go for the full dot base build. Illuminati with a greater fade, trinketing nothing. Bold move caught, and hope it does have some kind of a payoff. Going to be some Shadow Men's into a stump by KitKat. If he interrupts Illuminati on Shadow, that could be really bad for him. Void Eruptions up, going to be Shackles. His KitKat avoiding the Void Bolts, completely stunned by Illuminati. He's going to have some of his health necrotic out, but he's going to go for a PI with Shackles of his own. Quick main by KitKat. That's going to be more dots up. Illuminati tried to catch up on healing. KitKat is going to go for the bear form, catch up a little bit on health with the big old flesh cuff, and should be able to stabilize for now. Interrupt onto Illuminati. We'll see if KitKat can make something work out of this, or if Illuminati can maybe turn around. Shadowpriest is definitely the unfavored class in this matchup. Unless it play like extremely well. Quick movement to Illuminati is going to go for a disperse. Quick cycling by KitKat. Doesn't want to let Illuminati get any kind of healing whatsoever. Just keeping him controlled as much as possible. Quick mind control by Illuminati though. Turning the SCC onto the Feral Druid. And is trying to get himself catch up on heal, but that's going to be an interrupt on that Shadow. Illuminati in the bad spot. Quick ready fit for a moment. KitKat with a stun, and it's going to be a maim onto Illuminati. I don't really know if the priest survives it. Fear by Illuminati. KitKat still has plenty of damage. Mind games to follow. Illuminati with VT Skull Bash to interrupt them. Shadow Men's are up for the Shadow Priest, trying to keep himself alive as best as he can. Silence of the KitKat. But the cat is actually healthy. There's no really point of silence unless he's kind of low. And that's going to be over. KitKat just needs a couple more globals and that's it. This Illuminati just fell pretty far behind. Orlin as another Shadow Priest trying to go for a big Shadow Crash. Is not going to get the Void Balls to CC him with Horror. And KitKat actually going for a Trinket. Actually, no. He roots Orlin. Orlin is the one Trinket out of the root. I think just to keep it moving. Just to keep the damage rolling. Actually crazy. Kind of nuts, not gonna lie. KitKat behind the pillar, waiting for a bit of reset. 6 minutes into this duel, 11% dampener. Orlin, I mean, those basically just gotta wait out for the cat to open up on him. Unless he goes to pick up the eye, it could potentially just pick up the eye. KitKat charging in, trying to make sure he gets the opener either way. Stun onto Orlin. Full dots up and running. He has the full swarm, and Orlin is going to be under a lot of pressure unless he goes for a heal. Quick interrupt on Shadow. Orlin, I think, might be just done and done. Trying to go for the Void or Void Shift away from the Feral. Is going to be able to separate for a moment. Disperse did give him a little bit of healing. Stun onto KitKat as Orlin goes for Greater Fade. Trying to catch up on Shadow Men's. Unless he got another Skull Bash, is going to hit him with a Skull Bash around the corner. Not much you could really do in this situation. And Orlin gets a fear to the cat. Getting him out of there. Quick maim onto Orlin and it's over. Bite out of KitKat and done goes the Shadow Priest. Leatherface up next. Does he have the opportunity to catch up for his team to return them to full glory to defeat KitKat and let the rest of the team one play Gushek, Kiosk, Kib? I'm pretty sure those boys got to get a chance to play as well. But KitKat is going to be able to get away from Leatherface, catching up on a little bit of Fleshcraft. Well, he's got it. Maybe interrupt the Fleshcraft. Does land the interrupt Fleshcraft on KitKat. Leatherface is going to back up out of there for a second, imprison onto the cat. The demon kind of just stands in place for a second. That's pretty weird. He kind of needs him to kind of walk over to him. Shackles Malediction, going to be a Shadow Meld for Leatherface trying to catch up next to KitKat. The demon just running. Where is he going? Where is the demon going? He's literally back. He's literally de-aggroing. He actually de-aggroed for a second, run away. I did not know that could happen. I don't know if Leatherface has eyes. Try to see if he might be able to slash out in darkness, maybe get KitKat out, just kind of hit him out blind. Leatherface fully dotted up is going to get himself yet another demon spawning in. At least that's a little bit of healing. Getting a stun onto Kit Kat. Finally able to get some damage in. Fel rushes in. Bunch of damage onto Kit Kat. Might need to go for some CC chains. Maybe remove the thorns if possible. Did he purge him? He might have been able to purge it. Might be looking at a demon who is kind of far away. Maim onto Leatherface. Needs to take out the demon immediately. No defenses left. Is going to take out the demon. Get himself a little bit of heal. As well as eating up a demon soul. So at least he's got that. Kit Kat looking for another reset. Cannot quite get a full re-stealth clean versus Leatherface. Is that his slime or is that Leatherface's slime? Stun onto Kit Kat. Another demon joined the fight. Could be a plenty of explosions to add on to the burst damage for the demon hunter. Quick roar by Kit Kat though. And Leatherface just needs a little bit more damage, just a little bit more to connect with Kit Kat, just a little bit more pressure as Kit Kat got so much survivability, so much self-heal. Leatherface taking out the demon, at least gonna give him some souls to work with extra damage increase. Give him a little bit of a heal of his own. Maim onto Leatherface, and Kit Kat is just looking to get the hell out of there. I don't even know how he's gonna be able to deal with it. Leatherface just keeps running at it, but Kit Kat got mobility. The roots just reset the duel completely. Kit Kat goes behind the pillar, catching up on heals. And just kind of bleeding out Leatherface. So Kit Kat is just trying to prolong the duel as best as possible. I think it's going to be his full strategy. Let me catch a drink. Wet the whistle a bit. And Kat got a full reset. Leatherface denying the opener by Kit Kat. So at least there's that. Could go for reverse magic just to remove the roots. Because I think Kit Kat is literally just going to go bleeds, root, reset. Literally playing like some cataclysm or Mr. Pandara Druid. Bleeds, root, reset. It just bleed him out over time. Leatherface got a bunch of chaos strikes and maybe got a lot of damage. That is also a pet that he could just sacrifice for health. As well as the damage increase. Kit Kat with the thorns. That is going to be slow onto Leatherface. Not much you can really do about it. And he's trying to catch up as best he can, but he just cannot. Once the slows are in, Kit Kat got plenty of mobility and power shifting, so he's never slowed at all. 11 minutes, 37% dampener into this duel stun. And Leatherface just can't catch him. Dude, Kit Kat is just got the cheesiest little play, dude. Is he ever gonna get caught? Actually, just so cheese. Necrolord Feral just run and kite the whole time. Like I know that is a strategy, but man, he was just taking it to a whole nother level. Even Cyclone to Leather, because Leather doesn't have a trinket. Kit Kat down in defenses actually. Leatherface got everything but a trinket. He just needs to catch up. He just needs to get somehow next to the Feral. If only he had some kind of a slow for the cat at all. Because he has to get very, 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 very specific with how he uses his mobility. Leatherface is gonna go for reverse magic, just trying to get himself out of the route. But Kit Kat is already literally in a different zip code, literally 2 steps ahead of him at all times. You actually cannot catch up that Feral at all. I mean, finally Leatherface gets himself a bit of a proc, bit of damage. Chaos Strike's going through, maimed by Kit Kat is going for yet another reset. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, I wouldn't want to be Leatherface in this situation at all. I feel like I'm watching the Feral do this for like what, 5-6 minutes straight. Jesus. Yo, Leatherface, I don't even know what he's running. I guess he's running the I think it's Fell Eruption. That single target stun. I think he asked him to get himself some damage setups. But I feel like against a Feral dude, he might just have to run the double glaive throw that gives a slow. Because this is going to help at least even a little bit. Kit Kat with a full flash guy behind the pillar. Leatherface kind of low on health. He doesn't really have much to work with. Got himself eye. Does not really see Kit Kat. Looks like he maybe have had some bleeds on him that dropped him out of the eye. Slaying the demon, picking up the soul, 20% damage increase. Kit Kat tanking this up as best as possible. And Leatherface is going in. He's just not backing up. He might need to remove the thorns, try to go for flesh scout. Kit Kat with a quick interrupt. Metamorphosis up for Leatherface. At least he has a lot of leash to work with. Bashed by Kit Kat. Gonna be Leatherface streaking out of it. Shackles addiction as Kit Kat just tried to maybe nerf some of the healing by Leatherface. Kit Kat no health at all. And does get taken down by Warglaive at the end. That was a long one, man. Convoke onto Leatherface, lands a quick interrupt, still has Metamorphosis, darkness down for a moment. And that is a demon spawning in for Leatherface as he gets a stun to Gusha, trying to go for a big eye beam. Hitting the demon I think also gives him leech as well. Big old mobility for Leatherface. Gusha trying to hit him with an Ursos. It is going to be a bit of a slow. Gusha with a bark skim. Try to keep him at bay as best as possible. As the wall is up, Leatherface just continued to do whatever damage he can while Metamorphosis was up. Meta down, no trinket for a bit. Cyclone by Gusha. Is he going to go for a full reset? Maybe he's trying to manage his cooldowns as best as possible and fighting versus Jesus. Because Leatherface definitely has a work cut out for him. Gusha not in stealth. Trinket's out of that stone with a second stone to follow. Ivan back up, giving him the Metamorphosis for a second big charge. Sniping out that Feral. And Kiosku is not going to give Leatherface much of a chance here. Leatherface does have a demon spawning in. But it's going to be a Flate Shot. Can he reverse Flate Shot back to the Hunter? Is that a thing you can do? Leatherface getting hit with a stun. That's going to be so much damage out of Kiosku. Has the demon to slay, but couldn't kill him fast enough. Jesus is the last one left over for Team 2. Can he hold the fort? Where's the Kiosku? Potentially. There's also Kib still on standby. There's another one off Team 1. Stun onto Kiosku. Jesus popping off the grippy hand. Try to get the big damage in onto Kiosku. That's going to be a Pillar of Frost as well as Hunger and Root Weapon. Getting the big old grips into the Hunter. Is able to get a lot of pressure in, but it's going to be Turtle Shell for Kiosku. I wonder if Jesus went in for Chill Streak. I would imagine against a Hunter would be amazing, since the pet is always nearby. Flate Shot is up. Kiosku doesn't really have a lot left, unless he can just CC out Jesus. Trying to go for Feign Death. Camera didn't quite work out. The pet still has dots on him. Jesus at least has a lot of defensive cooldowns left for now. Kiosku able to get away from the Death Knight for just a moment. No freeze trap for a bit. Stun. Jesus trinkets out of it with an out. Doesn't even trinket. Just IBFs out of it. It does make me wonder what kind of trinkets does Jesus go for. Big old blitz coming down for Jesus. Does get a stun to Kiosku. Freezing trap to follow. But the Hunter is at least alive, at least for a little bit longer. At least he's still hanging. At least he's still kicking. He could technically go for a Feign Death. Go for Manic Bandages on the pet to remove the disease. And go for a camo if you wanted to. Not a lot of Hunters would spend a Manic Bandage just on the pet. Death and Decay stopping that heal. 60% dampening. Not gonna really do anything good for Kiosku. Flesh Cut was in full for Jesus, so at least he gets himself a bit of healing of it. That's going to be flanking strike for Kiosku. Charging at the DK. Has a freezing trap waiting for him. Does he just walk into it? He might. Manic Bandage. Well, Steel Trap is up. Yep. Steel Trap into a freezing trap. Kiosku catches a camo. Is the pet dotted up? Something is dotted up. And Kiosku turning around with a first aid immediately. Stunner Jesus has a human Rachel for it. Kiosku might actually have Jesus low enough. Flate Shot is up. If he can get those kill shots around the corner, he might be in a good spot. Jesus has nothing left. Stunner to Kiosku. Does he go for a heal? Tried to make a heal happen. But Kiosku out of the stun is going to end up capitalizing on that kill. And Kit Kat with the longest feral game I've seen in a long while, dude. My goodness. My absolute goodness, boys. Jesus Christ, dude. That was a long one, dude. That was an extra long one. Yo, we gotta call it here, boys. You guys gave me some of the longest games today that I've ever seen. Do you know that? The longest ever. What's up, Jimmy? What's up, Danky? Or different zip code. Best thing I ever heard. Yeah, literally out of there. Fucking ferals, am I right? For real, dude. Thank goodness they're nerfing Fleshcraft. Even a little. I think it's gonna help drastically against Road. What's up, Dirk? How you doing, my guy? Hope you're having a good one. Boys, that's gonna be all the duels for the day. We got more duels tomorrow. Hopping over on the NA tomorrow. Seeing if the NA boys want to get some games in there. Rafael Vega, thank you so much for becoming a member, my guy. Appreciate you, my dude. Alrighty, boys. Thanks so much for joining the duels. Appreciate you. I got a little bit of food to eat. I got some work to do tonight as well. And I kind of want to just chill, take it easy. But yeah, thank you boys so much for coming by. Appreciate you. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the duels on Saturday NA. Kainsworth, how are you doing? Where are you? Is that Kainsworth? That is Kainsworth. Who is this guy? He just blew me a kiss. That's so nice of you. Aww. That's so sweet. Thank you, boys. Have a great weekend. Yo, boys, thanks for joining the duels. I appreciate you. See you guys Saturday. And, yeah, Saturday's my birthday, by the way. If you guys want to say happy birthday, pop in. Say happy birthday. I appreciate it. Thank you all. I'll see you guys next stream. Alrighty. Peace.